Yeah, and if you sure, are you sure we're going to have that one? And that's the winner for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Look, I'm not taking any. I'm not having any more. I'm not having any more sort of outbursts like that. If that's going to be the winner, that's going to be the winner, and it will be that one. All right, we decided.
Yeah. Well, Fox is sitting down again now, so yeah, we'll go with that one.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
Well, Fox
calm
is,
down now. I've calmed down.
Yeah, Fox,
I
stop
see
crying.
your greater wit and wisdom, Tedward.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
I have fingers crossed all the time.
That's the winner then. Now we've just got to remember to announce the winner.
Yeah.
So
Ted, don't forget.
Chris, can you remind him to remind me?
I'll remind him to make a note to remind you later to, yeah. Okay.
So, Chris, if you email Tony to then send me a text message to remind Ted to get an email sent from Ted to you to send me a message to then remind Ted about the prize, that should work. That's pretty fashionable.
Yeah. Okay,
well, it was Tony's final decision anyway.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to. Yeah, you just caught us at the back end of sorting
Fighting.
out. We just caught us at the back end of sorting out the eModels gallery winner for this month. Whew, we ain't half glad that's over. And we ain't half glad we're not in the same room.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah. So, but great. It's great. Good to have you with us tonight. It's me, Fox, Ted, and I.
Yeah, me. I'm here as well.
Ted couldn't make it, so I came in instead.
Yeah. Don't forget Ted, of course, who's away at sea at the moment. So. Pete's still off the shores of Ireland. I think he's at an iceberg. Last I heard, he was heading towards an iceberg. So he probably needs some for his gin.
Yeah. Probably,
if you get off an iceberg, hack a bit off.
Chip it off. Yeah, chip it off. Yeah. So that's it. Yeah. Where are we? Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Monday night's live stream. Once again, we're here for all the fun and advice and fun and chat and things and everything else you could ever have. And you can't. Where's the red paint tonight then? So go around. We'll have a spin around the room. I forgot what I've lost my place in the script.
While Teddy's recomposing himself, don't forget, of course, if you're watching this on eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, and you want to join in the live chat, because we do giveaways and stuff to people in the chat, then just go to the player where you're watching the video, the little YouTube icon on the bottom right, click on that, and you'll go to the video stream on the YouTube page where you can join in the live chat and ask questions. And as always, don't forget to shout your questions in big fat capital letters so we can see them.
Yeah, or bold if you've got that.
Yeah, apologies if we miss anyone's question because the chat does move really fast. Chris, as always, is our chat dolly for the evening. So he'll be looking after the chat and looking after you in there and shouting questions to us.
And he comes around with soft refreshments if you want that as well.
Yes, he'll
charge extra for that
request. And don't forget the super chat, of course, if you wish to. There is a super chat option at the bottom of the chat window, little $sign. You can use that to have your comment highlighted in red or blue or pink or whatever color you want. And that way we can't even begin to miss your question because it's a big blue box that pops up on the chat window.
But don't feel like you have to do that. It's just
completely optional.
Zedster starts by saying that Ted's pick seems a bit contrasty and washed out. I think that's just Ted's being washed out. Ted's naturally that colour.
Yeah, it's the weather.
He's close towards the Scottish border, so he starts to edge toward the pallid. So
yeah, unfortunately, I do have some a disc somewhere that I could adjust the settings on my camera, but I can't find it.
With that camera, Ted, I wouldn't try adjusting anything because it's so chunky.
No,
the only thing you adjust on that's the focus.
Talking to this camera, as some of you may have seen, that since last Monday, I released the part 7. Yeah, actually, it was part 7, not part 9 of the U-boat video. When it left me at 1080p. When it got to YouTube, they thought different, and they put it out at 360. So I do apologise for that. That matters beyond my control. So
yeah, we can't re-upload it because as soon as we re-upload it, it's a brand new video and we lose all the comments. So
yeah,
one's stuck at 360p for some reason.
Yeah, so as somebody said, it just looks like it's filmed in World War II time reel video.
98. It's like when YouTube first started, the internet was all dead low res because everybody only had dial-up. Just go back in time and remember the history. Michael Jackman says, "Hey, the logos are back. Yes, Google got their shizzle sorted out. We've got our lower thirds again."
Yeah, they're down here. Yeah,
Chris has his little cartoon character now.
Yeah,
that one.
How good is your how do you feel about your little cartoon character, Chris?
I think he's all right. I think you might need to do another one because I'm going to have a haircut and a shave, so it might need to do another one in different stages.
You've got to keep up with the image that's in the logo. You can't change.
I've got to match that all the time. Oh, damn.
See, I do appreciate the fact that the guy that draws those actually put you with your arms folded like that, like grumpy.
Yeah, as I said,
more than you do though. Chris animated.
Chris's eModels bouncy. Yeah, if you don't behave, we'll send Chris round.
I was checking the list to make sure everyone's name's on it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right, we'll have a wander around the room for see what everybody's been doing this week. What have you?
Phil Lewis just found a cat hair in his tea. One really hopes he's actually got a cat.
As long as the cat's not still attached to it.
Yeah, this is where he says, "I haven't got a cat."
I haven't got any tea.
Well, that was rubbish, wasn't it?
Robert Raymond says Fox's beard will still soon need its own channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beginning to have opinions.
So you're going to need a new character as well with a bigger beard.
I know. I'm going to need like I don't know. I'm getting more Skipper-like than Skipper Ted here.
Don't agree. I've still tried to convince her that I need to grow a beard. You'll have to write a letter to her, and you'll all have to write a letter and say Ted has to grow a beard. Send it to Heligan35 at geocities.com.
I love the way you add an I into Tony's Tony's internet name.
Tony.
No, you add an I. You call him Heligan35. Helgan35.
Helgan3. Heligan. Yeah, I like Heligan.
Randomly.
David Adrian's back. Welcome back. He's back from Australia.
G'day, bro.
G'day, bro. Yeah.
Blimey.
Right. So, as I said, we will eventually get around the room, and I'll ask Fox what he's been doing this week. Have you been doing
you're asking me that now? I thought you were going to say you were going to do that.
He just did it.
Okay. I'm going to do this
now.
I was waiting for the actual. This week, I have been mostly working on my Panhard AML90. As you may have seen, the episode went up today on the YouTubes for eModels, and so far we are here. We are up to the base painting has all been done. So all the base colours are now on. And it looks a bit weird because there's no weathering or shading or washes or anything on it. It's just the basic base colour. So we've got the nice blue and light blue camouflage scheme. We've got some Ammo by Mig Dunkelgelb. It's probably the wrong shade of Dunkelgelb. Yeah. Dunkelgelb for the rucksacks and the bedrolls and stuff. We have chipping all over it. And I used some Ammo by Mig APC interior green because I had some logical thinking. I know it doesn't come out on camera, but I tried some logical thinking, and my assumption was that the inside of the hatches for the hatches, inside of the lids, or what do you call them? Not doors, they're just covers, aren't they? I suppose
hatches. Yeah, hatches.
Hatch sounds all right. I don't know.
Cover. Yeah. So my logic was that it wouldn't be the same color as the outside because when you spray paint this thing in the field, I'm going on the idea that the troops have painted it quickly. They wouldn't paint with the doors open; they'd have the doors closed, so they would retain the interior color. And I've just gone for that sort of zinc chromate interior green that's not painted. It's just the original zinc chromate plating that's there just to keep the metal looking, well, keep it unscuffed and clean. So I've gone for that, but it looks a bit flat. There's no washes or anything on it yet. That's what's coming in the next episode. So the next episode is all about the weathering, or at least some of the weathering.
It's quite a nice sized little kit as well.
I know, it's just come out. I'm really happy how it's come out. It is a good little kit. I like it. And even if you're not going to Warhammer it up and you just like the actual AML90, it is a really nice kit. I love the wheel on the side. It just looks mint. So that's done. So I've just uploaded that yesterday. That's live on the channel now. And then I'll make a start in the next day or two on the next episode.
There's a couple of comments in the chat there about what the hatch covers should be called. Seymour Bobbington said it's just a manhole.
Manhole. You're a manhole.
Troughton Chard says Starsky and Hatch.
Yeah, Stochin Husk.
Yeah, good one. See what you did there. Yeah.
Mike Mountain says, help Fox's logical thinking. I know. I watched Edward de Bono lateral thinking as a kid and it stuck. Sorry.
Somebody did ask in the chat as well about Tony. Tony is still around. He's just working his socks off, trying to keep the NHS on its feet. So he is around. And yeah, this week he did actually contribute to the picking of the winner for the eModels gallery. So yeah,
match, as we like to call it.
yeah. So yeah, we've been having a good crack with Tony this week, and he does send his regards.
Yes, we are fighting tooth and nail to actually get him on the show because he's got a character and everything on the logo now. but yeah, it's just his work schedule is a nightmare. He's often working at this time of night, so basically he works 24 hours a day for the NHS.
25, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. One minute he's shifting files, the next minute he's cutting legs off and doing brain surgery, and the next thing he's doing aftercare, and so it's a busy chap. Yeah, so great. Yeah. Right. Over to Cass. There he is, that man in the corner. Chris, what have you been up to?
I've been doing my plane.
Ooh.
Which only just fits in my spray booth. So there we have it.
When you bought that you got that at 1/44 scale, you thought it was only going to be a tiny little thing, didn't you?
I thought it was going to be quite big, but not quite that big. But yeah, it's quite impressive considering that people in 1/44 scale are that big.
And
it's what they call in Air Force terms, in proper military terms, a big chicken. It's a technical term. It's not a chicken. It doesn't really tell you that.
It's got wings, but it's not a chicken. So yes, I've built that, and the video indeed went up last night. So that's available now on the eModels channel. And yeah, then I'll be starting the painting on it this week and seeing how that goes.
Okay, we look forward to that. We look forward to videos. Yeah, as for me, well, as you've probably seen, as I've already mentioned, I got the U-boat video done and dusted and posted this week. Apart from the problem with YouTube, but hey ho. The next one will be sorted soon. Next time, so yeah, that's the conning tower finished. I know I showed you this last week. That's that bit finished. And I'm trying to decide what's best to show you next. I'll probably look at a bit of weathering on the submarine next. But in the meantime, I've had a little side build. Again, another side build. I quite like these side builds now. This turned up. Yeah, where's it at? I know eModels don't do them, but yeah, that turned up. From a friend.
Somebody sent Ted a Warhammers.
Somebody sent me a Warhammers.
An ex-friend,
yeah. And actually, it's got together really nicely. It's a nice little kit to do, and I'll be doing my own take on it. So it might actually appear in a eModels video about some painting and chipping techniques, a bit of a how-to type video.
That's why I sent it to you, Ted. Really, that's why.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, but as Robert Blacklock said, I've been lured to the dark side, only briefly. Yeah, so that's what we've been doing. So good.
FX Models and Things says, Fox, have you got over your space launch rant yet? I don't know what that is.
No, I can't remember.
I have no memory of a space launch rant. I don't know. You might need to clarify that one.
Dave Barker said he's started his Warhammer Vindicator.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, good.
Vindicator.
Adrian David says he missed the snow. How was it? We had snow in London. It was here last week, and then it went.
Yeah, but yes, the country still did shut down.
Yeah, we had about that much snow, and then it went away, and I was like, oh. I don't have to drive to a job anymore, so I'm like, I don't mind if it snows. All you have to do is walk to the shop. So, and it didn't snow.
We had a bit of snow, but mostly it's skirted around us. People are currently still cut off in the north of the county. Chinook helicopters and the military are helping with aid, getting food and fuel into them still. And now we've just got to wait for the thaw. So,
see, my question of the whole week of chaos that Britain, because like we're not great with weather. Because we get the same weather every year, but we go into blind panic mode when it snows, as if it's never happened before. But the big question I was left with last week is all those people that were, very unfortunately stuck on the motorway for like 5 days. The big question I had is, what happens when they need to poop? They're stuck in their car on the motorway and they can't go anywhere. They've been there for like 3 days.
Yeah, but the thing is, you probably don't need to because you haven't eaten anything for 3 days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I did see a TV program about people stuck in the snow, and the big line of traffic stuck in the snow everywhere. And one motorist was complaining, "I just don't know what's happening." You're stuck in the snow. It's a clue.
Yeah, it's quite easy to know what's happening. You can see snow. There's no magic bullet vehicle that can get through and take you home. You're just stuck.
Yeah, never mind. Hopefully everybody was safe anyway. So hopefully, if you are stuck in the snow, hope help gets to you soon. And just take it easy, relax. Yeah, we'll get there in the end. Yeah, good.
FX Models and Things clarifies. He says he was watching one of my videos where I was when SpaceX launched the thing where he launched his Tesla into space. You know, he launched where Elon Musk had his car going to space and it's floating around. They had cameras on the car as it's floating off away from Earth. And I made the terrible mistake of, it was a live stream, made the terrible mistake of watching the comments. And they were 99% completely stupid people going, "Oh my God, this is so fake. Oh, look, it's in a studio. It's so," and I was like, oh. I'm saying, obviously we can't go outside the Earth's atmosphere because it's impossible. And I'm like, these people are the future, and it just makes me sad. Never read the comments, folks, unless you're in our chat on this stream, because you're all brilliant. If you're watching anything else, never read the chat. It's just depressing.
Yeah, the conspiracy theory. Yeah. The Earth had been flat. They'd probably reckon it fell off here. So.
Yeah, there were a lot of people in the comments were confirmed flat earthers, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh."
I like watching flat Earth stuff. It amuses me.
It amuses me, but it also makes me very angry for
Yeah.
people who are just scientifically literate, and then no, it makes me mad. I don't know how Neil deGrasse Tyson doesn't lose his rag every time he speaks to somebody like that. He's very tolerant.
But never mind, there might be some flat Earth people watching our chat, and if there is, yep, everybody has their own opinions, and we will respect your opinions,
Even though you're wrong, but we won't mind. Carry on.
Yeah, just on a note, I just had an email from.
Of course, we're not expressing the opinions of eModels here.
We might be. We don't know. We haven't asked.
That's
just,
true.
just changing tack a little bit. We've got an email from Chris Balchin. He says, "Hi guys, really good to see you again. He watches us on TV at home and wants to communicate via his phone. Could you tell me how, or if he can? There is only the video feed on the eModels website, but no forum connection that I can see. What you need to do, if you're watching us on the eModels website, it'll say YouTube in the bottom, down here or down here. If you click on that, it'll take you to the YouTube page and the YouTube stream, and there you'll find the chat next to the video window, so you can join in that way. However, it just say
It does depend though if you're using the YouTube app or using just the website version. On some device, if you use the YouTube app, you might not see the chat. So if you've got like a desktop version you can go to, if you can't get to the chat at all, no matter, because my mum watched it on iPad downstairs, but she doesn't get the chat because she's watching it through the app, I think. You can, if you've got a question, you can just pop a quick question to Ted at emodels.co.uk, because he goes through his emails when his phone isn't dead.
yeah.
Don't use the letter Q. He can't see the letter Q.
They can see it. You just can't reply using it.
I can see it, but I can't type it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Try and keep all your text down one side of the email.
Yeah, I found a way to do that. If I misspell, say I misspell quickly, the autocorrect corrects it, so I can type it.
I thought you were going to use K's.
Yeah. Well, I can. If I spell K quick, K-U-I. How do you spell quick? never mind. Never mind. Yeah. If I spell quick with a K, it autocorrects, so it fills it in. And he also says, don't do any close-ups of our faces as he's watching on his large TV.
Oh, he's asked for that now.
Wow.
50-inch nostrils.
I won't do that. I won't do that. Don't worry.
50-inch nostrils on 4K is not very.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that either.
50-inch nostrils on 2K would be bad enough.
Who said what? Hey?
What? I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Pointing the fingers. Point the eye out. Put your eye out.
Shall I give him big widescreen beard?
Oh dear.
That's
Scary.
You could see yesterday's dinner in that.
On that telly, that's like 3D on his telly now. It's like he's now thinking, I'm getting a portable. I'm just going to watch it on my phone.
It's turned off.
Philip Rhodes says, just tuned into your excellent live chat to hear Fox go on about snow and poo. Very on topic. Only the finest conversation pieces here on Conversation Street.
John says he's at work, so he's having to listen with the sound off. Can we talk slowly?
Talking subtitles.
Yes.
I don't think you can lip read Fox because you can't see his lips anymore.
I could be saying anything and you wouldn't know it.
Right, yeah. So right, it's over to you guys. Yeah, if you do have any questions, put them in bold, capitals, large letters, whatever your device does. Type it in chat, and we'll try and answer your questions. Doesn't have to be model related. It could be, as Zadster mentioned, it could be about 1980s telly. I watched On the Buses tonight. It was awful.
That wasn't 1980s.
It was 90s. Was that 1970s?
It's got to be 70s.
Is that the good old fashioned? That's not the music. That's Bullseye.
The first one on the bus is really black and white.
It was Stan and the Inspector.
I'll get you, Blakey.
I'll get you, Butler. I'll get you,
you know
Butler.
what? It is terrible. Although I have to say, on the flip side of that, I went downstairs the other day, and in a rare moment, Mum wasn't watching either Midsummer Murders or Murder, She Wrote, which is the only thing that seems to be on the channel she watches. She was actually watching Rising Damp.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, I can watch Rising Damp because they were used to be on together. They were, On the Buses, Rising Damp.
Georgia Mildred she watched some of that as well, and that was a bit corny. But Rising Damp was just
Rising Damp was good. Yeah, it's just that. But
it was a genius.
Tonight, I actually Googled On the Buses. And apparently, the Guinness Book of Records have it as the most unfunny program on TV.
Nate Bliss says, "Oh God, they've started now."
Yeah, it started early tonight. Sorry.
Yeah.
Love Thy Neighbour made On the Buses look good. Love Thy Neighbour, in its time, it was all right, but obviously they won't be showing that again now.
Jerry and June says Trot and Chard. I used to watch that when I was a kid and thought it was brilliant. Now going back to it, I'm like, God, it's just the most corny, cliche British sitcom. My wife, the vicar. Oh, my bank manager.
Robert Blaylock says references to old British TV. Great fun for us across the pond.
Yes.
So we're probably not being very inclusive.
Well, just bear in mind that most of the TV you would have watched in the 70s was probably ripped off from our TV in the 70s, like Sanford and Son, Steptoe and Son. So you probably know them anyway. You've just had different names. Yeah,
but they did inflict some of the rubbish on us as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, no, their rubbish was good. That was Airwolf in the A-Team, and can't complain.
Yeah, but to be true, they did send us over Starsky and Hutch and things like that. Look, there's a pile of boxes. Let's drive through it.
Metal Mickey, good God, Metal Mickey says Philip Rhodes. That was terrible. That was truly terrible.
Citizen Smith says Alan Northwest modeler. Yeah.
Lewis says goody goody yum yum. I love the goodies. I really wish they'd re-show the goodies at some point.
They're all still alive.
Yeah, they're all going. It's just I just wish they'd show them again because the BBC have still got all the rights to it, and ITV had some of it. But oh well. Goody goody yum yum. Yes, I know the theme tune. I know all the theme tunes to all the things. You should know this by now.
Ed Math says Mork and Mindy. Yeah, that was from America. Mork, Corleone, Mork,
Corleone.
Yes.
John Bennett, The Good Life. That's good. Wife's got the box set. We often sit and watch that. Yeah.
I can't go back and watch The Good Life. Can't go back and watch The Good Life.
No.
We
tried The Good Life, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
We
had a vegetable patch as well. And we also did homemade wine. I get the impression that my parents were just as influenced as by The Good Life as everybody else's parents in the 70s.
Phil East, that's another one from across the pond. Different Strokes.
What you talking about, Willis?
What do you talk about?
Luke Loser says Monty Python was our best export.
Yeah, I think that's another program of the time. I don't know. I've watched a few episodes of it since, and I don't find it as funny as I did then.
I think Americans find Monty Python a lot funnier than we Brits do. Some of it's still good, but
this
brilliantly.
Yeah, obviously there's a typical flying circus sketches. Some of the sketches are timeless, and they'll get repeated. But if you watch a full episode of Monty Python, no, it doesn't have the same punch as it used to.
Yeah.
But of course, there's only one way to wrap up a conversation and move on about old TV, and that is that nothing comes close to being as good. Dad's Army. That is.
I've got that. I've got the full set of Dad's Army.
I need to get it on DVD on the box set because Dad's Army is the best, hands down, bar none, from any country, anywhere in the world, ever. Dad's always the best. End of argument.
Trout and Chard says all goodies are being released next month by Network, and all 3 goodies will be doing an audience with in Covent Garden, he believes.
Oh, cool. That's all right then.
So
they've been shouting about it for a long time because the BBC wouldn't show it, and ITV. BBC wouldn't show it because they left and started doing it on ITV after a few years. So they got the hump and refused to ever show it again. So they must have been able to convince them.
I'm wondering if the goodies is one of them shows that you remember there being, on for decades and stuff, but there are actually only 4 episodes ever made or something.
Yeah, everybody remembers the Kitten Kong episode, and
Kitten Kong and the tomato ketchup fight,
and the one with the thing from the Magic Roundabout, Dougal.
Classic TV of the time.
Yes. Anyway, let's move on before we.
We started that a little bit early now. We've got nothing.
We've got to the point where somebody's mentioned Michael Bentine's potty time, so we have to move on.
We've peaked too early now. We'll have to finish the show. Good night, everyone.
No, we'll just have to do model making talk now for a couple of hours.
Right. Well, I did see a question about model related.
Never.
Yeah, somebody says, are there any Thunderbirds related models? Yeah, that could take us back to TV. But are there any?
Back down the rabbit hole.
If it was a serious question, I think there are some Thunderbirds models. That Partworks does one, doesn't it? Very expensive.
Is it D'Agostini?
Yeah, they're doing a Thunderbird 2, I think, the big green one.
Yeah, they've got the part, but there are some kits available from I'm thinking Chinese manufacturer. It's a really not very well known name of
Tony Black says I am AI do a series of Thunderbird kits.
Oh yes, they're not very good.
Yeah. And did Thunderbird 1, but I don't know where it was from or.
Yeah, Scale Model July says Oshima do loads of them. Again, I think they're also not.
There we go back to TV. You can always watch an old episode of Blue Peter and build your own.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just the island, isn't it? You've got to build the island.
Yeah, that's true.
Where were we? I've lost now.
Don't forget they did another spaceship, didn't they? I can't remember what spaceship they did. They did a part work of several parts.
Who did?
D'Agostini as a
They're doing the Thunderbird 2, the big green one.
Yeah, they did one before, a different spaceship.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I think it was one of those like 6-issue ones.
I think there was about 6 issues for it. Yeah.
I don't know what that was.
Knowing me, if I went to a D'Agostini Partworks and I started buying it, it would be like my luck that they would go bust halfway through and I'd never get it finished.
Yeah, you know what, Ted? You still finish it faster than you U-boat, though. and even if they did, you'd still get more than 6 episodes out of it.
I'd get more than 6 episodes. Yeah,
I don't think. I remember reading somewhere they've never actually had. I don't think they've actually ever had a problem with anything stopping publication halfway through. I don't think.
I think they're one of the few of that sort of manufacturer that have got a history of never having stopped halfway through. I think
there's maybe one that they did. But I think it's only because uptake was so low. But the good thing about them is that when they finish the run, they then just sell the whole thing, buy all the issues.
Is it right that these companies do like a test run? They'll do half a dozen issues to see if it's taken up and if it's not.
Yeah, they normally do something like that.
Yeah, I think there's been a few cases where they've because what they'll do is I got some of the test run parts, and it's like they'll do the first 4 issues, which you get at reduced price anyway, and then what they'll do is they'll see how it goes. And then they'll just reissue them, and often you'll get different parts when they re-release it and start again. You get replacement parts because they'll improve the process. And it makes me wonder when they do them, how do they do it? Because you don't know how many you're going to sell, but you don't know if you've got this kit. Do they have to like build the parts month on month? So like this particular component won't be built for another 8 months because they haven't got there yet. Because you can't have all the parts for the model built ready because you could have 10,000 copies of it, but you might only sell 500 magazines and you're knackered. So I really don't know how they do it.
I think the first magazines they make lots of, and nobody's going to buy issue 10 if they haven't bought issues 1 to 9.
But I mean, are they like manufacturing the parts on a rolling thing?
I think that must be for
because it's to see because you subscribe to it, they'll see the take up on subscriptions. Granted that some people will drop out.
Yeah,
but they'll probably have an average there. We'll say, for instance, 500 people take it out, so we'll make 450 kits.
Dave Wiseram-Gambaka says, yes, they did. The Build the Victory stopped after 36 magazines.
All right. Was that them, or was it someone else? I'd heard that they hadn't stopped any, but they may have.
It might have been. It might have been one.
There are a few other people making things, aren't they? So. We've got an actual question from.
Oh my god!
How do I remove the Tamiya TS spray paint I've just sprayed? I don't like it.
If it's from a rattle can, it's a lacquer.
Yeah, the
so Tamiya TS, especially if you've got Tamiya primer underneath it as well.
Yeah, this could be a question that could fit in actually with Dave Barker. Dave sent us a two-part question. He sprayed a car model with acrylic primer, left it for 24 hours, sprayed it with Tamiya ×2, left that for 24 hours, then masked it off for stripes and sprayed it with a very old pot of Humbrol acrylic. The film went sticky, started to crack as though he'd applied a cracker glaze. What's caused it to happen, and how does he get it off? So that comes in with that question there. What's the most cost-effective way of stripping plastic?
When you try to take paint off normally, it's things like bleach and oven cleaner. And if you're in the UK, I use Oven Pride, which is quite good. Some people say use brake fluid. Brake fluid is very toxic, so if you can use brake fluid, just pour it down the drain. That's illegal. It's not really recommended, but it's very good. But yeah, they are lacquer paints in the rattle cans. So try. I've used Oven Pride cleaner, and that's taken Tamiya paints off before. So you could give that a try. Obviously, their pot paints are slightly different to the rattle can paints. So give it a try. I've tried Oven Pride. You could try bleach. Bleach sometimes works, but if it's a real strong
I've had some success with Dettol as well.
What's that stuff? What's that stuff that you've got from eModels? That stuff in a can.
Who?
You? Not
no,
me.
Yeah. What?
Oh yes. And by can, do you mean bottle?
Bottled can, whatever.
I think got some Carson's Paint Killer.
That's it.
Now this will remove anything. However, I need to cough. The problem with this stuff is this is basically just straight xylene in a bottle, which is super toxic and stinks. This is kind of designed for getting paint off small things. Like if you get paint on a clear canopy, you can get this on a cotton bud and wipe it and it will take the paint off and it won't damage the canopy. Or you can strip paint off small parts or whatever. You'd say you're painting a figure and you've put paint on the bit where the arm glues to the shoulder. You could use it to take that off. If you've got little metal miniature figures or little miniatures and you've bought some blokes painted really badly, some gaming miniatures, and you've bought them for like £5, you've got 50 dues and you want to actually paint them competently, you could strip them with this. If they were, say, metal or something. It's not really designed for taking a big massive model though, because it's very, very stinky. If you were to huff this for 20 minutes, you'd be unconscious. It's xylene. Xylene is nasty stuff. It will take off pretty much any paint, but I wouldn't recommend it for big things because it's really.
I think the one we've seen for sale currently in eModels is an aerosol. So
yes, you can get it in a spray can as well. It is really good, and like I say, it's really handy, but it's really designed for clean up small areas because you don't want. I mean, I've used this before where I've had to clean some small parts and I've had the bottle open for 5-10 minutes. And I've had to close the bottle, open my windows, go outside. Because if you've ever been to a body shop where they've got all the proper body shop thinners, and they've got things like standard thinners and things like that, it smells like those. And it's not as bad as standard thinners like you get in a body shop. I had a jar of standard thinners in a little bottle. I opened it for about 10 seconds and closed it. The whole house stank. This is almost as bad. But it's really for small scale paint removal and cleaning bits that you've messed up, not for a whole model, unfortunately. I mean, it would work. I can't guarantee it wouldn't damage the plastic. If you just left it soaked in it, it'd probably eat the plastic alive. But for small removals, it's great, but I wouldn't recommend dunking your parts in it because it probably would eat them. But everybody should have it in their toolkit because it's the best way to get paint off a canopy. Easiest way to get paint off a canopy.
Yeah, so, as we usually say, if you start with mild stuff, and then just move up a step if it doesn't work. Yeah, so try it with Dettol, oven cleaner, Dettol or Dettol oven cleaner, and just move up the scale of things until the paint starts shifting.
Just remember, if you're going to use bleach or you're going to use oven cleaner, they are toxic, so you have to make sure they're away from anyone. When I stripped some chrome parts off some kits once, what I did was I got all the bits of sprue, put them in a sandwich tub with oven fried oven cleaner, and I just left it. It was a warm, sunny summer day, so I just left it outside in the shade just to do its thing, because you don't want people breathing that in. The one thing I learned is if you do use oven cleaner, like the gel stuff like Oven Pride, do not spill it on your carpet because it burns through the carpet like a cigarette burn. I've got a big hole in my carpet and a brown stain that I got. There was a lot of shouting because I just spilled a little bit and it went. I was like, wow, I don't want to get that on my hands. So follow the safety instructions.
Yeah, a lot of people in chat are recommending just buying a new kit or setting fire to the existing kit, which can't really. Yeah.
I mean, try Dettol if that doesn't work. Try bleach if that doesn't work. Try something like oven cleaner if that doesn't work. You're kind of knackered. With Dave's paint, by the way, if he's spraying on, what was he spraying on over the Tamiya lacquers?
I've lost his mail now. Yeah, he took out some old Humbrol stuff and sprayed that on, but it was Humbrol acrylic.
It's probably a mixture of. I would be very tempted to say the two possibilities are, because it's been cold. If you get that crackle pattern like dried mud on a lake bed, it's called alligatoring. What it means is whatever is underneath the paint you sprayed isn't fully cured.
Yeah, has it gone off?
Now the Tamiya rattle cans do cure really quickly. I've used acrylics over the Tamiya rattle cans, no problem at all. But it may just possibly be, if it's been particularly cold, maybe they weren't fully cured. Maybe the other thing is, of course, I'm tempted to say if it's a Humbrol paint, yeah, there's a finger of pointing going at the. If it's an old Humbrol acrylic, it could have gone funky. It could be that. But typically, where you get the crackle pattern, it means that you've got two layers, and this one is either expanding or contracting and forcing. It's basically drying out at a different rate. So it could be that, or it could be the Humbrol paint. If it's not right, it could be drying out faster at the bottom than the top, and that's where you get that kind of cracked mud effect from.
Good. Yeah, hope that sorted a few questions. 2 for 1 there. Yeah, 2 questions in one. So got that sorted. Yeah,
Just 67 uses Dettol brown and bleach for chrome, deplating chrome parts.
Trot Chad says Green King IPA. Is that an ale?
I know, it sounds nice, doesn't it? Green King IPA. Pound of that, please.
IPA, yes. Yeah.
I think he means isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah, have a pint of IPA, please.
Tony Black says, don't put oven cleaner in an aluminium dish. Yeah, it'll tarnish your aluminium.
Yeah, you get in trouble for that.
Yeah, where some people are saying IPA, and that's isopropyl alcohol. That will probably do something. It might not be quite as strong as you think, though, and some plastics it will damage. So,
Robert Raylock says he uses mother's spaghetti, it eats through anything.
Yeah.
All right.
I remember saying about like people brewing, like my mum and dad brewing their own like wine in the 70s. Yeah, some of that damson wine they used to make that would have eaten through paint, no problem.
Yeah, some of the things that people used to brew. Yeah.
Right, Graham Young asks, do I have to thin Mr. Colour 181 and Tamiya X22 when using them as a clear coat?
I don't know that one.
I've never actually used X22 as a clear coat, so I couldn't say, but I would guess you could thin it with Tamiya thinners as normal.
Yeah, I should think so. I know Dave Barker is in the chat and he's used X22 as a clear coat, but I don't know if he thins it or not, but perhaps he'll answer.
Yeah, if you're in, Dave, let us know what you do. Remember, when you're asking questions in the chat, by the way, don't forget that quite often we'll get to them by the time everybody else has answered them. So other guys in the chat will help you out as well, guys and girls.
Yeah, the guys in here know probably more than we do. So yeah, more part of the elbow. Yeah, brilliant.
Oh, something I wanted to mention, by the way, because somebody asked me a question the other day, and it's something that gets asked a lot. Is somebody asked me about using Tamiya flat base as a matte varnish. And I had to explain it's not a matte varnish. Don't use it as a matte varnish. It's you guys in the chat probably know this, but so often you get asked, "Can I use Tamiya flat base as a matte varnish?" It's not a matte varnish. It's literally what you put into a gloss paint to make it matte. That's what it's for. So don't use Tamiya flat base as a matte varnish. I just thought I'd mention that because I've been asked it about a million times over the last few weeks. A lot of people. This guy actually went into a model shop and said, "Have you got any matte varnishes?" And the guy said, "That I can airbrush." And the guy went, "Yeah, you can use that if you want. It's brilliant." It's like, no, never mind.
Dave Barker has answered. He says he thinned it with X20A and not had an issue.
There you go.
Carl at Making Models says X22 with Mr. Hobby level thinner.
Yep.
50-50 with that. So yeah, apparently you do thin it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Tamiya, so unfortunately I can't always answer the Tamiya questions as I don't use them very much at all.
I'm torn because I love using the Tamiya paints to airbrush because they're really easy and forgiving. But I also love using the Citadel paints, but they're a faff to get through the airbrush. So I'm always torn between which paints to use. My two favourites would have to be Tamiya and at the moment Citadel. But I have to put Ammo and AK's metallics well above Tamiya's metallics. Ammo steel is a really nice colour to brush on.
Is that the one that goes over the black base, the black gloss base?
No, it's just a normal acrylic steel colour. The Ammo, the AK True Metals, what are they called? I always get them wrong because there's so many like True Metals and Real Metals. The metal colours from Vallejo, not even AK, they're really nice. They're really thin. They're nice. And some of Ammo's colours are really nice. They're just absolutely lovely. So the only colours I don't particularly rate to me are the metallics, apart from Chrome Silver, which is fantastic as a dry brush.
Yeah, I don't.
These are quite grainy and bitty.
I've never come across a model yet where I've needed to use a lot of metallic colours. Apart from the torpedoes in the submarine, there was a few of them. But
that's because you've not built a mega-sized unicorn.
We need to make you build a spaceship.
Finish.
On
the speech day.
Moving on. Carry on down the chat.
TK's just popped in.
Hi, TK. Right.
Adrian David asks, is there a words? Adrian David. I'll start that again. Coming out. Adrian David asks. We've got to do that, Adrian. Sorry. He asks, and it's gone off the screen. Is there a new model kit or a model kit you're itching to build? New or otherwise? He says new model kit.
New model kit. There's always a new model kit because every time I get a notification for eModels on the email. Oh, that looks nice. I can't say I'm itching to build one at the moment. No. Hang on. I did see one the other day.
What about you, Chris? While Ted's reading the entire internet.
Particularly, I've got a big stash of models that I would love to build all of, but it's just finding the time to get to the next one, really. Yeah. Nothing particularly jumping out at me.
No, there's nothing new coming out that I'm aware of that I particularly want to build right now. In terms of kits I've got in my stash that I really want to get on with, I really want to get my Imperial Knight done, but I really want to get my Deep Space Nine Federation Runabout done. I built one many years ago and I did a terrible job of it. And I've got the kit. It's a vintage kit. They don't make it anymore. And I've had it sitting up there for a while. So that's probably what I'm itching to do. But then again, I've got like 13 other kits that I'm really itching to do. So I can't decide.
Yeah. There's always something new around the corner. There's always the shiny kit, and as we've always said, you just get one. You just get it on your bench. You just take the top off, and you look up at your screen monitor, and ping, another one pops up. Oh, shiny kit!
Yeah.
Yes.
And the thing is, like with me, because I've got such a short, like, not attention span, but I get bored so fast of whatever I'm working on that it's a real nightmare when something shiny pops up. I'm like, oh, brilliant! I don't want to make this now. I really have to resist that. Carl at Making Model says you used XF16 flat aluminium on your Viper Fox. Just watching the videos. Yeah, that was way back in the dim, distant past when I'd only used Tamiya paints. I hadn't used any other paints at that point. Since then, of course, I've discovered the Ammo paints and the AK paints and Vallejo. On this AML 90 build, I'm using the Vallejo game colors. They're really nice. I'm really quite liking them. But in those days, I just knew Tamiya and that was it. So. I was but a child and used childish things. Now I am a man and I do childish things.
Yeah, yes, being an adult doesn't mean it doesn't do anything less childish. It just means it's more expensive,
and you get in trouble for doing it.
Yeah. You know what I love about this time in which we live now is 20 years ago, if you were like an adult and you did big kid things like making models, you'd just be called a sad loner and you'd be laughed at. Nowadays, it's kind of cool to be a big kid, and I like that. I like the fact we can do these silly things and it's actually acceptable now. I like that. Because I really hate to live a life where I was just a responsible adult, because it's so boring. You've got to have an inner child, and nowadays it's cool to express your inner child.
I'm sure everybody out there in chat must have been asked, well, what do you do for a hobby then? I build models. Oh, really? Yeah. I didn't show them a picture of what you do. Oh, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, I like that.
They just think you sit and make like Spitfires and stuff, and it's like, no,
it's not quite like that. No. Have a look at this one. Have a look at this recent one I've just built. Oh, wow.
But this is why sometimes people are so old. You think model making's on the decline and things like that. And I've heard it and I've read it, over the last few years. Is model making on the decline? It's like, absolutely not, because more and more people are celebrating their inner child, and this is just caters to it perfectly. We're just all making toy soldiers. Let's just be honest. And it's wonderful. And I don't think model making as an industry is on the decline at all.
No, I think it's probably more on the increase. Granted, yeah, when times are hard, the economy takes a bite. The first thing that gets hit is your hobby. That takes a hit financially, so you tend not to do that. So the money's channeled elsewhere. But yeah, as you get older, you get a little bit more disposable income. Yeah, you come back to it. It's the same as you find 60-year-old guys going out on huge motorbikes. Because they did it when they were 20 years old. Yeah. Granted, motorbikes have changed, but yeah, that's what they're doing.
And the thing I always say is, like, if you said to someone, what do you do for a hobby? And you say, I paint oil paintings. They say, oh, brilliant. That's art. It's fantastic. And if you say, what do you do? You say, I make models. And they go, and you go, yeah, it's just like the same thing. It's just three-dimensional. Philip Rose does say, Zadster does say, growing older is compulsory. Growing up is optional.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. And Philip Rhodes asks, if you weren't making models, what would you be doing?
I don't know.
I'd probably spend more time playing on the Xbox and things like that, rather than it wouldn't be anything creative.
It'd be idle, wouldn't it?
I'll probably be doing something with boats or something like that, something maritime related. But a boat is just a big hole into which you throw money. A bit like this, really.
I think if I wasn't doing this, I'd just be in a job. I would suspect probably a call center job, which I did for 25 years. And then in my spare time, I'd be probably still drawing my comic strip that I did for 5 years. Because before I did models, when I was a kid, I was always drawing. Then I started models, and then I sort of fell off model making, but got into drawing more and did comic art and stuff. Then I got back into models. So I'd probably be doing the drawing stuff, but I probably wouldn't have, websites and stuff and do the YouTubes and stuff. So I'd be doing something arty-farty and probably, but not make any money off it. Just doing the job.
Personally, I don't really know, because I can't ever recall settling on anything else other than making models. I think we've all tried the gym and we've tried to keep fit. I used to do a little bit of sailing, but just all became too hard work. And if it's outdoors, it's often sort of weather dependent. So here I am.
I probably still have a rack of synthesizers and recording equipment here where the workbench is. It was there before the workbench was there. I had to sell them all to set up the workbench. So.
Sprue Blue Addict says, will Ted be buying any more Warhammer kits?
No, I like that answer.
I might shock you now. I would probably think yes. I quite like this one. I quite like the detail in it. I quite like it because it's tankish and military-ish. I don't think I could get into painting figures, lots and lots and lots of figures.
Well, wait till you paint the figures on that one there, Ted.
Yeah, a couple of figures on a tank. Yeah, that's probably about the limit to be figures. But I think the rest of it, Yeah, I probably could. Probably build some more machinery as such. I don't know. Are the machinery? Are they tanks or are they
tanks, vehicles and stuff. So that's why I got you that one, because I knew it would kind of angle towards the genre that you quite like anyway. It's like a crossover.
Mm.
There's no point buying you like some kind of...
It's a tank with funny guns on it.
Yeah, there's no point buying you some kind of like Eldar flyer or something, because you'd be like, what the hell's that? But it'd get you a tank, basically, and you'd be like, oh, I like that.
Yeah, I might kit bash it to look like some to make it like little Mark V World War One tank.
So what will happen is in about a month's time, Ted will go to a GW store and he will get a Baneblade.
Yeah, I'll put it on my Christmas list.
Yeah.
Phil Kett asked us a question. Having real problems with masking tape pulling paint off. He's using UMP primer and Tamiya masking tape. What's he doing wrong? And Phil Lewis actually answers and says you need to detack the tape by sticking it to the back of your hand first. If the tape you're using is a bit too sticky.
Yes, there is also
obviously help.
Yeah,
there is also the correct way to pull masking tape off, which I shall now demonstrate with an amazing use of lack of focus because I'll be close to the camera. When you pull masking tape off, detack it first, and the best way to do that is to just do that on your back of your hand or do it on your trousers. That kind of takes hold. You can put it on your cutting mat and lay it flat. That takes some of the tack off. This is all low tack anyway. Then when you've put it on there, when you peel it off, don't just go yank. The way to peel off masking tape is to pull it back on itself like that. Because if you pull it off like that, you're introducing a shear force which can rip the paint off. If you're pulling it back on itself, you're just gently pulling it, but there's no shear force involved, so it's less likely to pull paint off. Go slowly and pull it back on itself. The other thing is make sure all your paints are fully cured. If you're doing Tamiya paints, give them 24 hours to fully cure.
Before you put it.
Yeah, it could just be perhaps the paints weren't fully cured, or if you're pulling it off kind of sharpish, any paint will depending on how you pull it off will come off if you get it too rough, if you're too rough with the tape.
Yeah. So sometimes it's best to pull the tape off before the paint dries. Then you don't pull off all the edges down the edges of your paint. Will go all lumpy. So pull it off before it cures.
Also, it can be as well if the paint that's underneath the masking tape is very, very thin layer. Sometimes there's not quite enough paint there to have a good bond with the primer, so it might just be that.
Yeah, but it's the first I've heard of UMP primer pulling off because it's pretty good stuff. That Sterilase, it's pretty good stuff.
I've never had a problem with it, but I say just pull it back on itself. That's always the way. Avoid those shear forces, ladies and gentlemen.
Right, we've got a new person in tonight. We've got Super DJ, who's in from California.
Cool.
Nice.
In California.
Nice and sunny over there.
It is always sunny in California.
They say it is, yeah.
Right, where are we up to? I don't know. Well, I just looked through the questions. Philip Rhodes said he's looking forward to the new Airfix Wellington bomber. I did see that on the Airfix website. They've just released it. Is it a new bomber or is it a new tool? Is it? And how much would you say we spend each year on our modelling?
I could tell you exactly how much I spend because I have to file my accounts every year. More than I earn, let's put it that way. That's my particular situation. I can tell you for a fact I spent more than I earned last year.
That was a question from Phil Rhodes. I found it. How much do we spend on the hobby year? More than I tell the wife.
I was going to say, someone did say, are we asking how much we spent or how much we told the significant other who spent? I can't see who said it then, but yeah.
Unfortunately for me, my significant other I have to confess expenses to is the man from the HMRC, so I have no choice. I have to be honest.
You could just get a very clever accountant.
You got to pay them. I'm not doing that. Don't earn enough to actually have an accountant.
Yeah.
I just put some numbers in and hope I get it right. I've not got in trouble yet.
Yeah, yeah. But always put down that you spent more than you've earned. So yeah,
Yeah.
Kit.
Although to be honest, I did get a tax rebate this year, and for the 2 weeks I started thinking I must have done it wrong. I'm going to get a man knocking on the door. There's no way they're giving me money back, surely.
A man with a bowler hat and a briefcase.
Yes, I didn't get told off though by them. So yeah, the chap in California. Who I can't see his name now, it's gone. He was saying that in California the hobby's dying out a bit.
They're probably all out
where you are and what the culture is of that place, though.
They're probably all out surfing and lying on the beach and things like that.
Yeah, it depends on the area. I mean, I suppose in the UK there's always been a kind of tradition of model making, a bit more maybe than in some parts of the US, perhaps. I mean, I can't really put it into words, but kind of everybody my age grew up at some point making a model of something, especially up here in the north where we're all poor and we didn't have like swanky London things to do, so we had to make simple model kits and play with sticks and stuff. But I think for our generation it's kind of a throwback from that childhood, and we're a nation of people pottering in sheds anyway, so
yeah. There's always somebody making something in a shed. They write books of it. Things to do in a shed. 101 things to do in his shed. Grandad things to do in his shed.
Robert Blaylock says it's dying in the US. He says the nearest hobby shop to me is nearly 100 miles away. Yeah, but that's like next door for Americans, isn't it?
Yeah, they could drive there and back in half an hour.
I don't know if that's they're dying out because people aren't doing it, or dying out because people are buying stuff online. I don't think a loss of, because if in the UK here, we also have an absolute lack of brick and mortar model shops. My local model shop that I went to for many, many years as a kid is still there, but now they just sell remote control stuff and trains and Humbrol paints, and that's it. And yeah, I used to go there and get like Star Trek kits and car kits and Tamiya stuff. Now it's nothing. I think over here we've got the same thing. There are very few good model shops around anymore, and those that are around just tend to sell Airfix and Revell, and that's about it.
No, I don't. Yeah, obviously, brick and mortar shops don't have the space just to store the vast range of kits that folks like us want.
Yeah. So I think the death of brick and mortar shops is more just an indication that we're all on the internet. And we can go on the internet and say, I would like this, please. It will be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because people like, eModels can have a warehouse full of all the things. Whereas, little mom and pop model shop, they've got a shop front and maybe a room at the back they can put some boxes in, and that's it. So
every bit of square foot you use for people to come in and look at stuff is stuff that you're not storing stuff in.
Yep. And if you look at especially the website for my local model shop, again, that has been there for like 50 years. That website is one step away from a GeoCities website. It's that old. It's just, and so many shops that I used to go to are now just trains, remote control stuff that they can sell at big prices.
Yeah, Robert Blaylock says RC and drones are taking over the physical stores.
Yep.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the modelling has gone to. It's gone over to RC and drones. People want to take things out of boxes, put some batteries in, and away.
Dave Barker says he must be lucky they've got 4 very good model shops in Portsmouth.
Mm-hmm. And Poundland.
And there's a Poundland in Portsmouth as well.
and Poundland as well for his Tommy Walsh stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there are still some around, but it's just not. As somebody pointed out, I think Tony Blaylock pointed out as well that scale model making started in the UK. Apparently, he said.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah. It's another great British invention that we gave the rest of the world. You're welcome. Yeah.
BT's used to be a chair modelling store. I remember BT's, yeah.
Yeah, we used to have a BT's toy. It was a toy shop and model. That's where I used to get all my Star Trek models from when I was a kid. I used to go there and buy all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I think there is a place for brick and mortar model shops where you can go in and buy your quick consumables. But places like eModels, I think, fortunately they're the place to go now for your bigger choice and quick delivery, and get what you want. Like this live stream, the putting out a front, reaching out, approachable. Bliss, because to be honest, can you walk in your model shop and say to the guy behind the counter, can you tell me how to use this stuff, or can you tell me how to put these filters on? There's probably a good chance to do it because they're not a specialist in it.
No. Plus, the other big important thing that I find with shopping online is if I want to buy something, I can either press a button, not that button, Ted, not that button.
Don't press that button.
This one.
I can either press a button while I'm having a cup of coffee and my toast in the morning, or I can get a shower, get dressed, start the car, not start the car because the battery's flat, charge the battery up for 10 minutes, start the car, have to go for a long drive because the battery's flat, and then go to a shop and buy it. And it's like, I'm going to press the button. I think it's the same with any industry. Brick and mortar stores, there's a convenience factor with shopping online that you just don't get, especially for it when you're like, I want to get this thing. Oh, I can do it now. Bang, there you go. So factor in that as well.
Yeah, and with with eModels, you can have it next day if you want.
I mean, people may not know, but eModels themselves also have their, eModels towers in Stoke. They also had a brick and mortar store that they opened for a while, but they don't have it anymore because the demand is online now. It's not on the high street. High streets depend on passing trade, and they have to pay all the rent and everything else. Online stores is just, you're going to have better range, better quality, and more product because they don't have the same expense as a brick and mortar store. So we have a super chat from Gareth Redfern. Thank you, Gareth.
Yeah.
It says, Fox, best make of paint for the Warhammer figures? Any. You basically want a paint that is good for brush painting. You can airbrush as well, but you're going to be doing some brush painting. Any paint. I love the Citadel paints, but I am actually coming to love the Vallejo game color paints. They're a little thinner than the standard Vallejo paints, I think, but they're still quite thick. They're like the Citadel paints. They're quite thick, and they've got quite a nice bold pigment in them. They're made to be kind of an analog of the Citadel paints. So they've all got very similar names, like Wolf Grey for Fenrisian Grey, and they're all kind of very similar colors. So you can kind of do that. But any, I would say, because you're going to be relying a lot on brush painting, so go for your water-based acrylics. Don't try and brush paint with Tamiya. You can do it, but it's a faff. Just go for your water-based. I've been using some ammo on this. They're quite good. Vallejo paints are a bit better than ammo for me, I think, because the ammo paints do come up with quite a glossy finish, which doesn't matter because you're going to matte varnish it, but it can affect the coats going over the top. I find the Vallejo ones a bit easier to paint with. The ammo ones, even on a wet palette, dry out a little bit faster than the Vallejo ones, but then both of those two dry out a little bit faster than the Citadel ones. So it doesn't really matter. They're all really good. It's just, if you're looking for the correct colors for your Warhammer stuff, obviously Citadel have the correct colors. The Vallejo colors, the game colors, they're very close analog, so you can get the same kind of colors.
Sorry, I've just lost
the will to live. I know.
I've lost my email.
For the sleep. Sprue Blue Enix has a question for you, folks.
Pre-painted models.
Where's that?
Sorry, I missed that. What?
Sorry, can you say that again?
Tony Black says, I can never understand the attraction of pre-built and pre-painted models. There's two types. There's the ones you buy, like, ones that come from a manufacturer that are pre-built and painted. And that's more just having a cool ornament. But then you get the ones where a model maker like me or Chris or Ted or somebody has built and painted a model kit. That is buying a piece of art.
Yeah.
So like Bandai used to do some of the Star Trek vessels, and they were pre-made and pre-painted, and they're really nice, but you're just buying the thing off a factory line. It's just a nice ornament. Whereas if you go online and you see a model maker who is a professional drawer who has made and painted a model and done all the work, then you're actually buying a piece of art from that artist. Think of it that way. Off a factory line, whatever, you're buying an action figure or something like that. But from an individual who's made it as a kit from a kit, you're buying art. It just happens to be three-dimensional, that's all.
Yeah,
a lot of people as well, don't forget, there's a lot of people who don't think they can make models, and that's why me, Ted and Chris and Tony and Ant and everybody else, the videos we do on our own channels teach you how to do, and the videos we do for eModels, they teach you how to do it, because we know there's a lot of people that think I can't do that, and yet we all sit here and say, yes, you can. You flipping can.
If I can do it, anyone can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people think, oh, I could never do that. I'd rather just, I want the thing, but I could never build it and paint it myself. So I can buy one that somebody else has made. So that's how commissioned model makers get their money, because people think they can't do it.
You'll often find with a model that's come from a factory, it'll be just they will paint it red and blue and green, but the red and blue and green won't have any tones or anything with it. It won't blend or anything like that. It would just be a square. It'd be just a group of people in China or wherever, just painting a model. Stick next one, stick red, blue, green, and the way it goes, there won't be any effort gone into it. Yeah, some of them look nice. You find some of these pottery figures are quite nicely painted. I can't think of the names of them now, but you get scenes such as tractors and sheepdogs and things like that. They're quite nicely done, and people pay a fortune for them. But when it comes to making and building models, some people don't have the skill or the interest to do it, or even the time, and they would rather have somebody else do it for them or buy it ready made.
And don't forget, of course, a lot of times, because I used to do commissions, and a lot of times there were two reasons people would ask me to do a build, and I charged a lot for a commission. So people would come to me and say, either I can't do that, but I really want this thing because it's awesome, can you make me one? Or it will be somebody saying, I used to fly this thing in the Air Force, be on this boat in the Navy, drive this tank in the Army. I used to be in this particular branch of the police or whatever, and I used to use this particular thing. Can you get that model and make it? Because it's what I used to do when I was involved in that. And that was generally the two reasons. People who never made a model of the knife, but they used to drive that tank or fly that plane or whatever. Or it was of some relevant. It was somebody buying a model for their father who was in the war and used to fly that plane. That was quite a common one. Or just people who were like, I haven't got the time, I haven't got the skill, I haven't got the patience, but I really want that particular thing. Can you make it for me? Yeah. One of them was a guy who collected Star Wars stuff. I did a commission of the Fine Molds Millennium Falcon for a chap in France. He didn't make models. He had no interest in making models, but he had a big collection of Star Wars stuff, and he wanted a Millennium Falcon to set it off. And I'm like, I can do that. So it's think of a pre-made, pre-painted model by an individual as it's a craftsman thing. We're just craftsmen. We just, like Ted says, we're like the people that do the handmade pottery, or we're like the chap that carves things with a chainsaw and makes an owl or something. I've got one of them in the garden. People that sculpt, we're just a different kind of artist.
But if anybody is looking for somebody to build them a model, what they want to do is find not somebody that will just build any models, but somebody who has a passion for building military models, has a passion for building Star Wars or sci-fi or something like that, because you'll probably get a better quality model from them than you would that somebody will build anything. Because they'll be interested in it and they'll know what to do and what it's like. So that's
and the other thing as well, and I may as well mention this while we're talking about like commissioning work, because I don't do commissions anymore. But if you are looking at, I always say to people, if you're looking at commissioning someone to make a model for you, be very careful, because what I was saying before about there is a lot of people that don't have the faith in themselves to learn the skills to make it. Not the people that don't have time, but the people that say, I could never do that, no matter how I could never do it. We know they can if they're just told how to do it. Anybody can do it. But those people can be preyed on. There are people, I've come across model makers, I'm not going to mention any names, but there are model makers out there who prey on that lack of knowledge. And what you have to remember is that to anybody, any of you guys watching who make and paint models, let's say you build and paint a tank. You know exactly what you've done. You know what goes into it. You finish with the tank paint job, and you can be like, it's all right. I can see what I need to do. This didn't come out quite right, and this isn't very good, and I've got to improve on this. But you can see the flaws. But if you then present that to someone who doesn't even know how to put paint on a brush, let alone how to make a model or paint it or weather it, they might think that's the most amazing thing ever. And there are people out there who will make substandard builds with the knowledge that the person they're giving it to, because they're being commissioned, might not have the nous or the savvy or the knowledge of the hobby to know it's not a particularly good paint job or weathering job. So if you are looking at commissioning someone, just take your time and pick through their galleries and their portfolios and see what they've made, because there are people out there that will give you a substandard job knowing that you won't know any better. Whereas somebody who knows how they've done it will be like, wow, you charged him 800 quid for that and it's not worth 200 quid. That's just terrible paint. I've seen really terrible paint jobs on commissions over £1,000, and I've looked at them and gone, I wouldn't charge him a tenner for that. So just be careful and make sure you really know what the work of the person you're commissioning, what their kind of quality is, and say, I want that kind of quality, please.
Mm. Yeah.
To people who are watching this who make models, of course, somebody who makes and paints models will be like, why would I want to commission someone? I can do it myself. But to people that have no knowledge of it, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah. Yeah. It often comes like that. Somebody says, my dad served it. Could you build this for me? Yeah, and you build it, and it's nice. It's a nice feeling. I've done it. I've done it. I've built something for someone, and they had a relationship to that subject, and it was a nice feeling when they got it and saw it, and it sort of brought back memories to them. Yeah, it was good.
But you've just got to be careful. I mean, I could scribble down the quickest, hastiest drawing in the world on a piece of paper, and I know someone will be like, wow, that's the most amazing piece of art I've ever seen. And I'd be like, it's a scribble. And people will prey on that. So if you are hunting for a commission, just be careful.
Sprugru says his builds are that bad he could only sell them to a blind person, but it doesn't matter what your build is like. If you've enjoyed doing it and you've enjoyed the finished product, it's brilliant. Yeah. That's all we guys do on our teaching videos, is encourage you to have a go yourself and enjoy what you're doing. Doesn't matter what the outcome's like. If you've enjoyed it, we've reached our objective. Our job here is done, as they say.
That's why we're not all rivet country, because we don't build like that. We don't care if it's not quite the right shade of Dunkelgelb or if there's supposed to be more rivets. We just do it for the fun. And one last thing I'll say on the subject of commissions, because I know some of the people that watch us have been approached for commissions or been thinking about it. I get a lot of questions like, how do I do commissions? As in the person asking me, they want to do commissions. I would say, if you're the kind of person who actually want to start taking commissions, don't. It's not fun. It's stressful. Yeah, it might make you some money, but it's super stressful. It's not fun. It's a headache. It's a nightmare. Don't. It's not worth the stress.
And you won't recoup the time that you put into it. You never will.
Simply put, if you actually charge someone what your model build was worth, you wouldn't sell it.
Yeah.
And there's too much stress. There's too much hassle. Even just shipping the damn thing, just forget it. If you're thinking about doing commissions, don't. It's not worth the stress. That's why I gave it up. It was too stressful. I like the money, but it was just too stressful. I don't need that. I'm doing this for fun. I don't.
Right. What time are we on? It's 5 minutes yet, and we'll do a bit of a what's in stock.
On a lighter note, then, Sprugru Addict asked earlier, has Fox finished his ghost pepper pork scratchings yet?
No, but I'll tell you what. Mama Fox has been nibbling away at them as well.
Ghost pepper.
My mum was like, "Can I try one?" I'm like, "Yeah, all right." She went, and then about 10 minutes, I was like, "Oh!" She made the mistake of, when Mum eats pork scratchings and pork crackling, some people just crunch it, and some people like to sort of treat it like a chewy, like a sucky sweet, like a lozenge, and just kind of suck on it for a bit, get all the goodness out. Yeah, she made the mistake of eating it like a lozenge. So sitting there going for about 5 minutes. No, eat them as fast as possible. For those who don't know, one of my followers very kindly sent me a jar this big of pork cracklings that were laced in a powder of ghost chili. It's really, really hot, but it tripped me up because there's like a 5-minute delay between eating them and getting the effect. So I'm like, oh, these are quite nice. It's not that strong. Yeah.
I was trying some. Yeah. You have to send me a handful out of the jar.
Yeah, I can do that. I can send you some. The person, I do apologise that I can't remember the chap's name. I do apologise. I know who you are, just off the top of my head. He did say that when he got a jar of them, everybody's saying hi, Fox's mum. When he sent me the jar, he said, the one thing you need to do is before you open it and eat it, give it a good shake so all the powder isn't just settled at the bottom. He said, I made this mistake of challenging my dad to eating half a jar each, and he had the top half. Yeah, he hadn't shaken it. So, yeah, he didn't win that challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was Raging Bassist who sent them to me in the chat tonight. It says, Fox, be glad I didn't buy you the ones I showed you the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, you could, but then there's all the powder left in the bottom, so you could rub your finger around it, perhaps.
See, I had it would have been the perfect revenge. There's somebody in my life that I fell out with big styly, and they actually liked pork scratchings quite a lot. And I thought the revenge would be to go in the pub, get the beer. I'll go and get a pint in. I'll get you some pork scratchings. And then when they go off to the loo, because this person used to open the bag of pork scratchings and have them lying there. Take his pork scratchings, swap them out for the ghost pepper ones, and he'd be like blah 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 blah, and he wouldn't know until it hit him. But I'm not quite that cruel, and we had a big falling out. So, but that would be quite, because they just look like pork scratchings. So you could have some practical joke fun there, actually.
It wasn't Raging Bassist who said he bought you the pork scratchings.
Oh, okay. I forget who it was. I do apologise. I had it written down on a piece of paper anyway. It's been more than a day.
Robert says, did it come with self-cooling toilet tissue?
No. It came with some After Effects. I'll put it that way. Let's leave it at that. Smooth says, hello, leather-clad biker chick, Fox's mum.
Yeah. Fox
image is in everybody's head now.
Fox's mum, the biker chick.
Michael Jackerman's pizza's arrived.
Yay, what have you got on your pizza, Michael?
It must be. Yeah, I must arrange it one time. I'll get a pizza delivered while I'm live streaming. Be a knock on the door. The pizza. Yeah.
Adrian David says Fox is making me hungry. Ham and cheese toasty later.
Oh, ham and cheese with a bit of mustard on.
Hang on.
I heard that.
Yeah,
voice. I don't know if you guys heard that.
We heard that.
Yeah, I heard that.
I'm not sure what we heard, but
Mum says hello.
Yeah, we heard the voice of Fox's mum.
Yes.
Mystery voice. Yeah. Your food. Yeah. Is that more voices?
No.
Mind you, it's a 20-second delay, isn't it? So we. Yeah.
This is why we're like, when anything loud happens on the stream, like one of you guys laughs really loud or the phone rings, it's like a minute later I hear it downstairs.
Right, should we go and have a look at what's in store?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's. Right, I've got to find some buttons to press.
That one.
Not the wrong buttons.
Not the wrong buttons. Hang on. Yeah, because
I think you're missing something, Ted. I think you're missing something as well.
What we're missing now?
No,
a piece of apparel, perhaps.
Huh?
No. Ted's fine.
A piece of no.
Stop picking on him.
No, later. Right, we'll have a look at what's in store.
Yes.
In a moment. Yeah. Right. I've got to, no. Hang on. I've got to lock it on me first. That's it. I'm reading the instructions. Lock it on you first.
Have you got your sign up saying that it's Monday?
Yeah, that's up there. It's Monday. Although it says it's last Monday, so it's a week out. It's a week out of date. Right. Screen share. Ooh. Right. I've got to find the things to share yet. There. Right. Right. Screen share.
Is it locked on you, Ted?
Oh, is it locked on me? I haven't pressed the share button yet. Oh, I've lost it. Right. This week we are going to do the Beast from the East. We are going across to Russia.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry to all the American viewers. It was too much of a comedy option to not do it.
Yeah.
It's also really loud. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the reason we chose Russia this week is because we've all experienced the Beast from the East. So, comrade, come in from the cold, come across to Russia.
Yes, we had the cold weather this month with the snow. Well, we didn't have really any. We had almost no snow at all, but it was really cold.
Comrade. So we will look at the Russian items from this week's What's in Store.
Aye. What do you have in Russia?
Can you do the entire What's in Store with the accent? Go on.
Yeah, we should. All three of us should do Russian accents now.
Yeah, we will be carrying out the rest of the program in Russian accents.
Welsh in Ted's case, but we'll carry on.
Right, yeah. Well, I chose a couple of things this week from I just typed Russian into the Google, into the eModels search engine, and it come up with a number of things. Aircraft,
Lots of American cars.
Lots of American cars.
We must stop now. No politics, no religion.
Yeah, and the first one was one of the things that did come up was the Trumpeter 132 Russian MiG-29, the Fulcrum. Was this something based on that Clint Eastwood film, Fox?
Firefox.
Firefox.
It might have been in it, but it wasn't the Firefox. That was a completely different.
Yeah, I know it's a different. Forget about what I just said because I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's because it's verging on the sci-fi. That's why Ted's not too sure.
Yeah,
Tim's a bit unsure. He's like, "Is it sci-fi? I don't know."
The Firefox thing, you had to think in Russian, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. You see, I'm thinking.
That's why you're thinking in Russian. That's it.
I'm thinking in Russian. Yeah. Yeah. So this is the Trumpeter 132nd kit.
132nd. That's going to be huge.
That's going to be huge because they're a big aircraft anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's because they're full of tank tractor parts and stuff, and they're made of cast iron. So
I can't read the dimensions on the corner of the box because they're in Chinese, which isn't Japanese. Russian. Yeah, it's not Russian, so I can't read it. Yeah, this is the 29 Fulcrum. Some of you, I'm sure you aircraft guys will know all about this aircraft because I absolutely know nothing. I think is this the naval version? Something about it tells me it's maybe a naval version.
I know not. That's a lot of decals.
That's a lot of decals.
TK like this.
Yeah. TK, yeah. Somebody give TK a shake, please, and wake him up. And tell him
he says it's 13 degrees C and sunny, apparently. I don't know. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Says Firefox was a Foxbat MiG-25.
Well, see, we know everything. Yeah, these guys out there in chat know everything.
Ryan Riley says you might be thinking about Top Gun with Tom Cruise.
Could it? Yeah, could be it.
Well, they were F-18s or F-14s.
Yeah, I don't think they weren't Russian either, but yeah.
Yeah. We will never know the mystery of Ted's mind. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Wow, there's lots of indications there of lots of decals. Yes, I think I'll give this aircraft a little bit of a pass, I think. Yeah. The Russian MiG Fulcrum. There we go. 132nd scale. Available from your eModels store.
Yes. Griff MJ says, careful, Ted, you'll have Muller after you for being a Russian bot. As always, folks, by the way, don't forget, we always say this every time, and it never fails to amaze us how it happens every time. While we're doing these what's in store things, if any of these do tickle your fancy, go and buy them now, because what we find is that more often than not, when we show things on the what's in store, they sell out very, very quickly. So if you are interested in any of these, just open up an extra tab, get it up in the store and grab it. Get it in your basket. What do they do, Ted?
Slap it in your basket.
Well, you got Welsh again.
David says, slap it in your basket.
I don't know what accent that was.
Where's that come from now?
I don't know, but we should probably move away from it fairly
sharp. TK says only 2 sheets of decals. That's not a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So slap it in your basket if you want it, and check out as quick as you can. Because remember last week, there was 2 discovery sets, weren't there? And there was only 2 in store.
Yeah.
So and they win. Yeah. So and that's why we can never give things. Well, we can hardly ever give things away when we feature what's in store. We can't put them as prizes because we can't guarantee that they'll be there next week.
Yeah, well, we can't guarantee that they'll be there by the time we get to the actual giveaway section of the program. If we show them 10 minutes before. So if your interest is tweaked, then don't hang around. They might have 12 of these in stock. They might have 1 or 2. You never know. So
it seems to be. Yeah, there's a continual photograph gallery there of all the bits in the kit, and it looks like there's going to be lots. So
that's a big kit.
Just wonder if there's a picture of the made-up kit. Just flick it through.
So someone's done the maths and said that it's 56 feet long, so it'll be 21 inches in the kit.
Well,
I don't know if that's right, but
nearly 2 foot. Yeah, that's cracking. That's a cracking.
We don't do homework and find out fact checking. So
132. The next one I think is another aircraft as well. Yeah, this is the.
I think it's another aircraft. Come on, Ted. Even I can tell that's an aircraft.
Tends to look like one, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the Kitty Hawk model of the Sukhoi Su-35 Flanker E, which I think is a totally different aircraft to the last one. Well, I hope it is anyway.
Yeah, it's got different words in the name and everything.
Yeah, it's got different words and it looks different, and the box art is different.
It's got like 300 things for missiles to hang off. That's like a lot of things.
Yeah, a lot of things. Similar shape, but a lot of things different in this one. This is a 1/48 scale model. Once again, looks like there's bags of stuff in there. Let's see if we get a picture up of it.
What scale is this one, Ted?
This is 1/48 scale.
Oh, look at all the things.
Look at all the things.
Pointy sticks of doom. Death
yeah.
tubes.
Osric
9000 says yes, that is an aircraft.
Yep.
I know these things. Yeah. You all may scoff, but yeah, I know these things. That's an aircraft. Look, it's just shot one of them Top Gun things down. Yeah.
It kind of looks like the whole cockpit section is like part of a different plane glued on at a funny angle, doesn't it?
It looks like it's actually offset to one side, doesn't it?
It's like the Russians have been doing a bit of kit bashing there with a bit of this and a bit of that and see what they can come up with.
We stick this on here.
The funny thing is, though, that despite the fact these things are made out of tractor parts and rocks, they're some of the best fighter aircraft out there. So
Yeah.
even though they're all old and rusty now, and
Just going back to that one, is it the fulcrum that can sort of stand on its tail? They just
think
hover.
so.
Or they could do. There's one of them Russian aircraft that could do some strange aerobatic type maneuver, either stop in midair or fly.
There's one that can just like stop with its nose up in the air and engines down towards the ground, just stop.
Yeah, I've seen some videos of that, and it never looks quite real.
Yeah, it can sort of stall.
Planes shouldn't do that sort of stuff.
Yeah, but that's why it's kind of kick ass when they do it. Tony Black says built from old larders. Yeah, but the larders are built from old tractor parts and rocks, so still the same. Robert Blaylock says the Cobra maneuver is where it stops on its engines like that.
Zedster says yes, it's yes at the tail standing.
Right. See, I do know things.
Trot Chai says stand on its tail and then crash at air shows.
TK says most jets can if he's right.
So, oh, he spoiled
that's spoiled. I thought it was just a Russian thing. But it's off. It's all fly by wire, isn't it? That these aircraft are inherently unstable to fly.
No, they couldn't afford wire. They didn't really have a lot of wire on the track.
They use string.
Baling twine. What's next? I forgot what's next.
Brilliant.
Right. If you're going to look at Russian things on a modelling website, it has to be tanks, doesn't it?
That one's not an aeroplane, Ted.
This isn't an aeroplane.
We've taken a poll from the crowd, and the chat to confirm it's not an airplane.
This is the Tamiya 1/16 scale, huge heavy tank, the KV2. Look, it doesn't look. It doesn't look too much far from the Toon tank that you built, did it?
That's what amazed me. My little Toon tank that we built for the Christmas special, it's basically exactly the same with a few extra wheels.
It looks like it's got a few features on this one.
I would think it probably has.
Let's have a look. See if we can see what we can find. Oh, could have working headlights, perhaps.
That looks massive in that photo. It just makes it look like it's about 3 feet long.
Yeah, the tow cable down here. The tow cable down on the left-hand side. Looks massive.
Terry at Smooth's Workshop says he'll have 3 of them.
Yeah.
That is contractually binding that now you put that in chat, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm making the assumption that this is a fully remote control with light-up guns. And
I don't know if it is remote control. We'll have a look at the description in a minute. And if there's any Russians out there that could translate that, because I can't quite work.
I think that translates as meh.
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 Stay away from the pointy end.
I think it means meh, whatever. Meh, whatever. But yes, I always got a wiggly.
Oh, it's got
a wiggly appendage.
It's got an up and downy bang stick.
Yeah. Yes, I'm guessing we'll have to look at the description, but I would suspect this is probably RC.
And a twisty bang.
Nate Bliss says it is RC, but if he's got inside information or if he's just been looking at it.
It looks like fully working suspension. Let's have a quick look at the description, see what it says.
Yeah, because Tamiya are known for their premium, expensive tank, RC tank, but it's like the Abrams we showed the other week.
Right. It says 1/16th RC assembly kit of the Russian heavy tank KD2. Total weight 3,600 grams. Well, I thought that was said kilograms then.
4 bags of sugar.
4
Wow.
bags.
That's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Includes DMD control, T8 and DMD multifunction units, which includes the main gun features: a 4-degree depression to 40-degree elevation, photo etch parts. Yeah, you got to have photo etch parts.
At that kind of price, you're going to have photo etch parts.
Yeah. Rear-mounted pre-assembled gearbox with 2 Type 380 motors. All right, so it looks like all you need to take it away and drive it is a radio set.
Yeah. Typically with the Tamiya kits, the radio set is not included because you can have custom ones and there's millions of different ones. So they just tend to say, if you're gonna get one of these tanks, you've either already got one or you know what you're doing and you're gonna get one anyway.
Yeah. So if you want one, put it in your basket.
That looks awesome. It just does look awesome because it's so big, and I like the tank anyway. It's just so kick-ass.
Yeah.
But to RC that, and you've got the fully working sort of tracks and individual track parts there.
Yeah, it's like 1.5 feet long.
The working lights.
Michael Jackman says, about time we had a remote control Tamiya tank giveaway. We can't afford the medical bills that Pete would incur if we did that.
Yeah. You could probably hear that coming. Oh, wouldn't you? You'd hear that coming. Yeah, to have the sounds and everything.
And put it this way, we wouldn't even get one of these to build as an eModels video build. So, But I mean, these remote control things, they are, when you do see them, they are incredible. I mean, they're massive and they are incredible. So,
Pete could send us one to build. I wouldn't mind building one of them. It just might get lost in the post when we send it back. That was all. Yeah,
might get lost on the bench. I moved a bit of blue tack and I lost it. Sorry. David says, "Can I have 2 of those as roller skates?"
Yeah, brilliant. Right, next one is another tank. I think. Yeah, it's a bit smaller, a little bit more of a reasonable price. The Tamiya 135 Russian JS2 model 1944, whatever all that means. Yeah, Russian heavy tank JS2. Once again, I think the Russians build some awesome looking tanks.
My favourite tank of all time is still the T62A.
I've got one of them. No, I don't think I've got one. I never picked one of them out. I forgot. But this is just a basic Tamiya tank. Once again, if you have a Tamiya kit, can't go wrong with it. I'm sure we're back to detail on that. I quite like, I don't know why, I quite like the way they strap fuel drums to the outside. Now,
you know why I like that, Ted? Because that's Warhammer, that is.
Yeah. Now, is strapping fuel drums to the tank a good thing or a bad thing?
It's never a good idea, which is why the Russians had it all the time.
You don't want them inside, do you?
No, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy talk.
Yeah, I suppose they'd blow them off, wouldn't they? Or, drop them off.
Robert Blaylock says the US, the Russia's answer to the. I'll say that again with words. The Russians' answer to the US Sherman.
Cool.
Trout and Charles says less time in the salt mines to get that one. Yeah. The thing we like to do is we do like to show like the top tier premium kits because some people go crazy for those things.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's worth showing the expensive kits because that's what some people like.
Yeah, and they're sometimes nice to look at, what could be.
Yeah, it might be, we might show something crazy pricing, but that might be someone's dream kit that they never thought of before. Like when I was a kid, I always wanted the big Tamiya USS Enterprise CVN 65, which was about £1 billion. Never got it.
Yeah,
if you're not going to buy it, it's always nice to look at them, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nice to look at. Yeah. Or a group of people could club together and all buy it.
Well, Scale Model Jedi said they only use the external fuel tanks during transit, not in combat.
Yeah.
Oh, right. I know what you said. Yeah. Well, once again, we learned something. Right. For the next one, a few figures for your you guys building dioramas. The Battle of Kharkov, 1943. This is the Dragon set. 2 Soviet soldiers dressed for winter combat suits with such uniform gear, fur hats and a snowsuit. One Russian smoking a cigarette, classic pose. Simple figure candidate for the standalone vignette.
Is one of those guys smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
Russians allowed.
The Germans never get somebody smoking a cigarette. The Americans never get somebody smoking a cigarette. But the Russians, one of them's got to have a fag in his mouth.
Yeah.
Because he's Russian, he's correct.
Ah.
You're correct.
So it's two. I'm trying to work out. It's two of them Germans and two Russians.
It's a Battle of Kharkov, so yeah. You got two Germans shooting and two Russians just stood about, not bothered.
There's two. Yeah, there's two Germans and two Russians in that kit there.
You may shoot us, we don't care. We are immune to bullets. We eat cigarettes to survive. No hardship. Your bullets are not hardship.
I will fight when I've smoked my cigarette. So any you do dioramas or into your figures for your 135 vignettes, anything like that, $11.95. I'd love. Have I said that right? Kharkov. Yeah. Right. The next one, we chose it. Well, Fox chose this because he said I couldn't pronounce it.
Here we go. Is everybody ready for
it's trumpeter, Ted? Trumpeter.
Trumpeter. 1/350 scale Russian Traversievich. Tversavich. Tvarovich. 1917.
Almost Italian. Cesarevich.
Yeah, I think I'm going more Italian now. Hey, mozzarella.
Sempre qua, pasta bene.
Once again, a nice little kit from Trumpeter. Quite nicely priced as well. I don't see a lot of people building boats. It's nice that people do. But yeah, they tend not to be. Tend not to feature much on the Facebooks and pages like that. But it's often a nice genre to build as well. The First World War ships have a bit of a battleship look about them. Once again, the sort of thing that you would draw as a kid in school on your copybook, wouldn't it?
Phil Lewis says Ted goes all Mario. Hey, it's me, Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Mario.
So that's that one. Yeah, that's what we've got in store for this week from Russia. The Beast.
There we go.
The Beast from the East. Right, so stop sharing. Yes. It's obviously all rubbed off, this Russian stuff.
Focus, Ted. Focus. You've gone fluffy in more ways than one.
Yeah. So just to keep in touch, this is how I can think in Russian. Yeah, put the Russian hat on. It's got wires and things.
That's how he gets the accent so accurate because
that's yeah. The Russian hat's talking for it.
That's the
okay.
Yeah. So yes. So I'm always looking for ideas of what to do as a theme for what's in store. Because it's nice to have a bit of a theme, a bit of a fun. I think next week we'll do America. Do America for a change. Yeah, we haven't done America, have we? So,
no, we'll do America next week.
Yeah, we'll do America next week.
Yeah, next week the theme will be America.
If only you can find a theme tune to play when America's mentioned. Don't worry. You have to search and find something.
Yeah, we'll find something.
Yeah. So we'll do America. That'll be a bit of an easier language to imitate, won't it?
I don't know, Ted. I'm sure
you probably not.
Even if you try hard enough.
That's right. I was locked on me. Yeah. Yeah. So next week we'll do America, I think, if I remember. And then if you've got some ideas, you can always send them to me at ted@emodels.co.uk. If you've got an idea for a theme, let's see what you guys think.
What's in store theme. Don't forget, of course, as well, when we do trivia questions later on for stickers and mugs and stuff, mail in Ted with questions because we suck at coming up with ideas for questions. So make sure if you've got a question and you know the answer and you can tell us what the answer is, we'll ask you a question. So if you've got a trivia question, send it to Ted.
Yeah, we do have some for this week.
Oh, good, because the person that get the words out, the question that we read out, that person gets a sticker as well as whoever wins the.
Yeah, usually, hopefully they get a sticker. When I'm passing the post office, they'll get if I pass the post office.
Yes, I've got some bits to send out.
Trent
Charles says Ted as Sean Connery doing Hunt for Red October as a Russian with a Scottish accent, but Ted will do it as a Welsh Indian. That could get very confusing.
Welsh Mario. Ivan, send them one ping.
TK suggests we do Dutch next.
Dutch. Yeah, I can't pronounce. Can't speak.
He can't pronounce it. Ted will be like, we've got a 1/35th model of the.
Right, yeah. So what else have we got to do? Well, I suppose we'd start with it's 20 to 10, 20 to 11.
Last week. Do you want to do last week's giveaway first or the gallery winner? Which do you reckon?
What should we do first? What should we do first, folks? The gallery.
We'll give away new stuff.
The gallery or the last week's winner.
Oh, I'll do last week's winner first. Get that.
All right, let's do last week's winner. Right, I'll go find it and then I'll look it on myself.
Okay.
I'll try not to do it the other way around this time and then just mess everybody up when you see lots of pictures. Right, close that.
Danster says, can we declare war against someone we can actually pronounce?
Yeah, well, we did beat the backside off the Dutch, didn't we? Nelson did that. Oh, that's not that one. That's not that one. I've got to find the right button to press because it looks totally unprofessional if I don't press the right button, doesn't it?
Really?
Well,
no, I wouldn't know, Ted. You've never pressed the wrong button.
Everything goes black if you don't press the right button. And then the sadness. Sad factory.
I haven't got last week's prize. Hang on.
It was the
Klingon
D7 that was actually a Romulan or Romulan warbird that was actually a Klingon D7. I think it was Polar Lights.
Yeah, I'll just get it up now.
There we go. Or Rolmian, as you called them, or something.
Romians, yeah.
Romelians.
Then I went and I think they were them with the guys. I got it all wrong because they were right. I found it.
Zadster says Wales is safe, and Philly says so. No wars against Vallejo then. Vallejo.
Vallejo. Right. Okay, I'll come back now. Yeah.
We didn't know you were going away.
I've lost. Right, there I am.
I'm lost. I'm Ted. I'm lost. I'm on a horse.
I'm lost. Which way to the front?
That would be an ecumenical matter.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Let's share. Let's screen share.
I've forgotten what we're doing now.
Where do we get up to?
It's been a while.
We were finished, right?
This was last week's giveaway at the Polar Light Star Trek. I've got to read it like that. This is the Star Trek, the original series. TOS, is that right? TOS?
The original series.
TOS. Polar Lights, the Romulan battlecruiser, plastic assembly snapped together model kit.
Yeah, Klingon D7 repurposed as a Romulan battle cruiser.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the kit that we're going to give away.
We can't actually remember what we asked you to do as a question last week. We have no idea, and the winner that we picked at random, the answer didn't help us either, so we have no idea what the question was. Did you write down the answer, by the way, Ted?
I did, but I couldn't spell it.
I think I've still got the answer up on screen if you need me to read it.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot which order I wrote these down. All right, found it. Yeah, I found the winner. I think it was to make to write down what's that word you call it? To write down the noise of a Star Trek Enterprise. Or was it a phrase in Romulan?
It was I think it was a phrase in Romulan. Then we said, or a phrase in Klingon. Then we just said, just write anything.
That's it. Yeah. See, we're professional.
Yeah,
we know what. Yeah, we know this. Yeah, well, right.
We just make something up.
Yeah, the last week's winner. Just made something up.
Yeah. Well, shall I reveal the winning comment before we do the?
Yeah, go on. Then. The winning comment was.
The winning comment was.
Sorry for that. Yeah, for those that didn't.
So if you wrote that in,
yeah,
email Ted.
Send Ted an email.
Just for those that missed it, who might have been out to the bathroom.
I just heard myself do that from downstairs.
The winning noise again was. Excellent. Good. Yeah. I might cut that bit out and use it somewhere else now. Yes. The last week's winner of that noise was comment number 4 was Adam Clark,
who wrote I don't know what that's about. That's why we asked, because I said that I was like, Ted, what the hell was the question? Because I've no idea what the answer is. Yes, Adam Clark. So send Ted an email, ted@emodels.co.uk with your name, address, phone number just in case, and put down what you've won because the guys won't remember when they get it in the store.
Robert Blaylock wonders if Fox just had a stroke. Does he smell burning toast?
Nah, eggs. Always
yeah.
eggs. But then that just means something else.
So congratulations to Adam. Yeah,
Well
and
done, Adam.
I'll get your details to eModels, and the guys will forward that out to you.
Rattle Can Rebel says it sounded like Smoo on the Loo.
I thought it sounded more like a old computer dial-up tone.
Yeah, it's like, welcome to AOL Online.
I thought you'd
Oh God, do you remember
connected.
that? Dialing up to AOL.
Chris Balchin has said, sent me an email. Ted, will you cope with America next week? The language is English.
Yeah, probably
He'll
not.
still pronounce it wrong.
No, I do Northern England.
Remember, Ted did the Abraham's tank, so we're on a winner.
Lots of stuff with aluminum in it. Yeah.
Yeah. We can't have any aluminum in aeroplanes.
No.
Right. Right. We've done that one.
Robert Blaylock says, and I'll try and reproduce the voice. You've got mail. That's an old AOL throwback. You got mail. I remember that. Well done, Adam. So get that email sent in.
Yeah, good. Right. Should we do the next? Should we do what we've got to do next?
Well, we've got giveaways to do, but I reckon we should get the gallery done first, and then we'll do this week's giveaway. And
Right. I'll go prepare the gallery.
Robert Blaylock says they speak American, a butchered version of English. It's actually on a lot of websites and things. It does say English simplified.
Yes, English for beginners. Although I was actually shocked to find out that apparently aluminum is actually the original and correct spelling.
No, it's not.
It was only changed from aluminum to fit in with the periodic table. So the guy that discovered it actually called it aluminum. So technically, aluminum is the correct pronunciation.
No.
So the Americans have got that one on us.
No. They
We've
can't.
still got herb because it's an H at the start. There you go.
Right. Right. I'm ready.
Right, what we doing? Gallery. Oh yes.
Yeah. How about focus? Am I out focus again? Gallery.
Well, you're going to be doing the gallery anyway. It doesn't matter.
Now, just to remind everybody, eModels has a gallery for readers' builds. It's emodels.co.uk/gallery, strangely enough, where you can upload a picture of your finished builds. People will rate it with up to 5 stars and put feedback on there for you. And you can go in and rate other people's stuff. And once a month, on the first of the month, me, Ted, Chris Fox, me, and Ted, and Tony in this case.
And Tony in this case.
We go in, we have a big shouting match, fight and throw things, throw food at the screen and stuff. And we choose one of the 5-star rated builds that we think is just awesome. And it's not necessarily the most technically proficient build. We're not looking for a masterclass in painting or building. We just go around and we think, I like that. And that's it. So we just go for one that catches our eye and tickles our fancy. And any other little phrase that might be a double entendre.
We usually all go off in our old little rooms and man caves and things like that, and choose,
or huff, as we like to say.
choose and choose a few kits that we like, and then we all come back together and have a huddle and a scrum down, and then we
huddle, not cuddle.
And none of them are ever the
no,
same.
no, we don't do that. We don't do that. We have a good talk about rugby and drinking and things.
Oh, because a metre apart. There you go.
Yeah. And then we eventually whittle them down until we finish fighting, and the winner stands up and says that I've won. So this is it. So should we go across? And
then the one we pick wins a prize, and we do this on the first of every month. So there you go.
Yeah. Usually we don't know what the prize is until we pick the winner.
Yes.
So
it's always a surprise. It's a me, Mario.
So if you've got a model on the bench and you want to submit it with a picture, send it across to what Fox has already said.
emodels.co.uk/gallery.
Yeah, and the instruction draw there for uploading. And I go across and give somebody a review as well. If you haven't got a model, go across and review a couple. You know, when you have a model that's up there, somebody might come back and give you a review as well. Yeah. Right. So I'll stick it on me again.
Stick it on me.
Right, and I'll go to a screen share and I'll share that, and the winner is this one. This one. It's entitled Arden. Arden's Forest, 44 to 45. It's the Tamiya 138 Yeah, to me, a tank of figures, scratch.
Yeah.
On
I don't know if
scratch
it's
build.
a standard Sherman or if it's the Easy 8 one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, yeah. Once again, I'm not up on my tanks, so I don't know which is which. But yeah, we thought it was a nice. Had some nice weathering to it. It's quite topical, being with a beast from the east as well.
Yes.
So whether that swayed us in any way, I'm not too sure.
Hmm.
But yeah, there's figure painting. There's a little bit of a diorama. Some snow, some nice winter camo on the tank as well.
Yeah, it's good snow work, and he's reflected it on the tank as well. It's not just sometimes you'll see a model and it'll be a model and then a snow diorama, and never the twain shall meet, which always makes me go, huh. But yeah, this one he's actually blended it all in nicely. He's got some some snow effects on there. It all works really nicely, and it's just a nice little scene.
Yeah, it's not overly complicated.
Yeah, the figures look great. I think he's done a great job on the figures as well, because figures are some of the hardest things to paint. So he's done a real good job of those as well.
Yeah, so it's a really good job. So yeah, fair dues to Tony, who had his casting vote, and well, unfortunately we had to discount one or two others. And yeah, we came up and he gave his casting vote on this one. So thank you to Tony.
So who is the winner, Ted? Did you read the winner's name out?
The winner is Andrew Kimberley. Yep. I don't know if Andrew's with us this evening. Well, hopefully, if not, he'll catch up sometime on the live stream playbacks. And all he needs to do is, like everybody else, send the details to ted@emodels.co.uk saying that you won the gallery, and you will have won this kit. The Russians again. The Russian. Everything is Russian this evening.
Yes.
The Tamiya 135 infantry tank Matilda from the Red Army. Hey Mario, hey, it's from the Red Army.
Well, do you want the spaghetti or what? I don't know what you want now.
You want the spaghetti or the pizza?
Don't let me throw you out of the finestra.
The Red Army.
Hey Mario.
Hey Mario. Hey Mario. Yeah, so a very nice 135 Tamiya tank to Red Army. Lend-lease, I guess, to the Russian Red Army.
Not to the Russians. That was us in America, wasn't it? These are the ones that we shipped up round Norway. The disastrous, was it Q96? I think was the convoy that just went to pot basically because there was an absolute spoon in charge of the Admiralty that messed it all up. Remember the Arctic convoys? Jeremy Clarkson did a program about them.
Yeah,
amazing stuff. They basically got on ships and went all the way around Norway, and at one point the Tirpitz was rumoured to be out and about, so they went into and they all fell apart.
Just scattered, didn't it? Everything just scattered. So
yeah, Nate Bliss says yes, lend-lease to Russia. I thought that was just between us and the Americans, but we gave them a whole mess of stuff basically. Yeah,
that's what the convoys were for, wasn't it? Just taking arms and armaments and supplies around the coast to Russia.
Yeah, which is why you see a lot of British vehicles and tanks and American vehicles and tanks in the Russian army during the war.
So there we go. If Andrew Kimberley sees this, drop us a line.
Make sure to send your name, address, your phone number, depending on where you are. We might need the telephone number for the courier or delivery guy, so they can call you and say, I'm at your front door and you're not answering, and I've got a big box, and can I give it to you? Thank you. Name, address, and phone number, and send it to ted@emodels.co.uk. But also put down what it is you're actually asking for, because I said before, the guys in the shop won't necessarily remember what it is you've won. So just remind them.
It could be a couple of weeks till and Andrew actually sees this. So yeah, we just need a reminder, because we forget everything anyway.
Is it still locked on you, Ted?
Already, so you know.
No, it's not locked on me.
Yay!
Right, where are we at?
Right, I think it's sticker time and mug time now. Yeah,
sticker time and mug time.
Sticker mug sticker.
Right, I do have a couple of questions this week.
Disclosure, by the way, I did go for a great big wee before we started the stream, so I haven't needed to go for a great big wee yet.
Not yet. Right,
there's time. There's always time.
Right.
You said we had some questions, didn't you, Ted?
I did.
He's looking for one as we speak.
Just on that word.
Just going back to Lend-Lease, Troughton Chard says, we also sent them a hurricane if you read Johnny Red in Battle Comic. And I just had flashbacks to reading Battle Comic.
Oh, Battle Comic was brilliant.
Yeah, Battle Action Comic and things like the Commando one and Johnny Red.
I did the sci-fi one. I can't remember what it's called now. But
we didn't do that.
Don't know, because in the 70s it was all Germans and Allies.
It was all Achtung Spitfire, and Tommy, for you the war is over.
Britische Pig Dog, Donut und Blitzen, nein!
Yeah.
That's how we learned our really bad German. Battle action comic. I've actually got one. Shall I go and see if I can find it?
Go find it. Yeah,
I think
go
it's on
find
the shelf. Hang on. I'll go and see if I can find it.
He's going to be gone for hours, isn't he?
Yeah,
Go and look in his loft.
Yeah, I'll be underneath his bed with lots of other magazines and model related.
Not them magazines.
Yeah, we don't ask questions. Yeah, Anyway, we do have a question tonight. I think we'll do it for a mug. We'll do a mug first. Yeah, we'll do a mug.
I'm not drinking out of this one.
Not this particular. Not this particular.
No, can you find it? I'll find it for next week.
Yeah,
it's a proper vintage old copy of Battle Action comic, and I think Johnny Red episode's actually in it.
Yeah, they've cocked you in the chat, Fox. They've all decided you're making excuses. You've gone for a wee, really.
No, there was no flushing, and I wouldn't do that quick.
I hope you wash your hands.
Great big wee. I drink a lot of water in the stream, literally stream.
So but while you were gone, we were preparing to give a mug away.
Oh, prepare your mugs, ladies.
Yeah. And it's a question that's been sent in by one of our viewers tonight, Robert Blaylock, all the way from the US of A. Robert was the one that bought the Dora. Unfortunately, his Dora, or the one he thought was the 135 Dora that was coming to be posted, turns out that from the eBays that he bought it from was the 1/1/4 scale Dora. Big disappointment.
Especially when you paid 4,000 or 5,000 quid.
Especially when you paid for the big Dora.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he was able to rescue his money back from the insurance company. So he's not out of pocket. In fact, he's up. He's got a free Dora kit. So well done, Robert. Yeah, just check. If you are buying things from unknown suppliers, just check your history, buyer beware, and all that. So
take your life in your own hands when you buy things on eBay.
Yeah.
Now you want to use your regular, reliable source like eModels.co.uk.
Yeah.
Your one-stop shop.
Yeah.
For all your model making needs.
I'm sure that some of you that find out if you've got something delivered from eModels and it's not quite what you want, they'll just swap it over. No questions.
Well, if you ever get a problem with the delivery or something, if it rarely happens, the guys at eModels will fall all over themselves to sort it out for you, because that's what they're all about, is customer service. One
of the customers the other day, there was a delay in getting the order out to them, and without any asking of questions, they sent it out courier instead of Royal Mail. So they got that's the sort of guys they are out there. Robert said it's a 1/72 scale he got, not the 1/44 scale. Still big.
Still big, but it's not 500 quid.
As big.
Yeah.
So that's actually quite good. Then he's got a really big one, but and he's got his money back. Still, it's kind of a sucky thing to happen there. But that's what happens when you go from an other unknown online source.
There's always somebody out there on the internet that wants to scam you. Unfortunately, in this case, so just double check, buyer beware, and if you're in any doubt, buy from a reputable sort of source.
Robert does say he should have ordered from eModels. Now I know a lot of our viewers do actually live outside the UK, and sometimes wonder, can I have a thing sent to me from eModels? eModels will basically send anywhere. There are certain products that are restricted, like aerosol cans and some glues and chemicals and solvents. They can't send outside the UK by law. There's nothing to do about that. But if you're not sure, wherever you are in the world, if you see something you fancy, either try and order it, and it will either not give you the option to order it. It'll say can't deliver to that address. Or if you're just not sure, just drop them an email and say, hey, I live in X. Can you ship me this thing? And they'll be able to let you know. They'll be able to come to some sort of arrangement for you. So they can ship pretty much anywhere.
Yeah, there are. I think there are 1 or 2 countries throughout the world that it's just impossible for them to deliver to, either through cost or just physically getting it there.
But James's bike doesn't go up hills very much right now, does it?
Yeah. Not his bike. I mean, there are certain destinations where the cost of shipping will be so prohibitive, because the way it basically works is if you send something to, I don't know, America, a lot of stuff goes back and forth to America, so shipping costs are quite cheap. If you send somewhere a kit to somewhere that has very little trade between us and the UK, it might cost a bit more in shipping because there's not a lot of options, and couriers tend to charge more. So it's down to the courier charges. But if you're ever unsure, just drop them an email and say, I really want this kit. Can you guys ship it to me? And pretty much most of the time they'll be like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, if you go to the web page, go to the contact form, contact them in there. It costs nothing to just send a few lines on an email electronically these days, doesn't it? Doesn't it cost us?
Trot and Charles says, yeah, DPD messed up. I'll rephrase that. Messed up his discovery model, but James at eModels helped out, so delivered today.
Yeah, excellent.
Nice one, James.
Yeah. James is going to have to go out on a bike now because Gav's following Pete round the Irish Sea in his boat, isn't he?
Yeah, Robert also says that eModels do ship to the US, and yes, they do. The only thing with the door is it's such a massive kit. That's where shipping gets a bit iffy.
Yeah,
that's where it might be like, okay, we can ship it to you, but it's going to cost you whatever.
Yeah, well, it would need its own container, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because that's kind of an exception because the box is so huge. There's very few things they can't ship, and that's just legally they can't ship solvents, and they can't put pressurized spray cans on a plane. For obvious reasons. Anyway, we're giving some stuff away. What are we doing?
But I was just going to say, when eModels want to open the American branch, we'll nip over and set it all up for them. Yeah, we'll do that.
Osric 9000 says, I hear Canada is awkward, but they apologise so nicely afterwards.
We just tell it. It's from eModels. Oh, yeah, in you come then. Yeah.
Canada, eh?
Yeah. Anyway, Robert sends in this week's mug question, the question for the mug.
Yes.
Scale model enthusiast. Now, as you know, if you've got a mug and you know the answer to the question and you don't want a mug, don't answer the question. Let somebody else have a chance of answering it. If you have a mug and you want another one, feel free, answer the question.
Yep.
If you don't want a mug and you know the answer to the question, don't answer it. Now, I do know this question has been asked before, but it's been asked a long time ago, and probably a lot of you guys weren't here anyway.
I don't know what I did yesterday. I thought today was Sunday, so.
No, it says up here.
It's a memory question from a long time ago. No chance.
It says up on the top of my screen it's Monday. It says it's last Monday, but it's Monday.
You've got a little slidey thing that says Monday or not Monday.
As
long as you remember to change it on Monday, it's fine.
Yeah.
Throw cheese and onion.
It's just when I get to
42.
42.
Right. Anyway, the question from Robert is, lastly, here's a question for the broadcast. Who manufactured it? Remember, you can't answer until we say go.
Yeah, because we'll leave a gap to allow the chat to catch up. So wait till Ted says go.
Yeah. So lastly, here is a question for the broadcast. Who manufactured the first plastic model kits? Okay. Who manufactured the first plastic model kits? And go. I
can't remember the answer. Oh, no, I think I can remember the answer.
Yeah.
Actually.
It's pretty easy. I think it is well known. So I think somebody might do it. Yeah. So we have said go. So once chat
everybody's Googling it.
FX, not me. Bill
not me is technically correct.
There we go.
Is it Frog?
Frog. Trot and Chard says Frog.
Yeah, Trot and Chard says Frog, so well done.
Yeah.
So Trot and Chard, send Ted an email with your name and address. And don't forget, who sent the question?
It was Robert.
Robert, send Ted an email with your name and address.
From a US of A.
Yep.
He goes on to say the answer was the first plastic models were manufactured at the end of 1936.
And I bet they were terrible.
I don't think it was that old.
They were the ones that were in just in plastic bags, weren't they?
Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, I think they were taken over by Airfix, weren't they?
And Revell still uses some of those molds today.
They were manufactured by Frog. There were a range of 1/72nd scale models called Penguin. Thank you.
Trout Child's quite happy he's won a mug. He's been trying for a long time.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Well done,
Trout. He has one.
Ooh. Right. Sticker time. Do we have another question? I'm sure we do. Right. Adam Clark's been in. I've got your email, Adam. Thank you.
Remember, of course, with the chat, by the way, folks, you don't see it the same order that we see it. We see it in the actual order it came in, whereas you guys see it prioritized to yourself. So keep that in mind. We go off the first comment we see on our chat. It's just for fun. It's just a silly quiz game.
Yeah.
Have we got another question? Is this for a sticker?
I'm just having a look. I can't find one. Oh, yes. Dave Barker sent one in, didn't he? Somewhere.
Somewhere out there.
Yeah. Dave Barker, I can't find your question. I know you sent one. Can't find it. Give us a second. Talk amongst yourself.
Yeah, just to say to Rattlecam Rebel, it was actually yours was the second response. Again, we go off the order that we see the chat, and we see the chat in a different order. We see the chat in the order the chat actually comes in.
But by the time you've typed it and pressed enter, it comes up on yours, but it's still got to get to us, and then
yes,
you know,
so
it's there must have been a fraction of a second between the two of you. But yeah,
yep. So you were actually
sorry.
second.
Try again next week.
Keep trying. You know, it's just a bit of fun.
Dave, I can't
find a question.
I can't find. We'll have to make one up as usual.
Rotten Charles says rhubarb thingy. What's it? Okay, here we go. I've got one.
Okay, go on. Go for it. Yeah.
Right, remember, don't answer till I say go. Earlier on, I played the Russian national anthem. What is that piece of music called?
What, the one you played, or the
one I played? What is that piece of music that I played earlier on? What is that piece of music called? Go. Ding chicka ding chicka ding chicka ding chicka ding chicka ding. I've got to remind myself. Oh, hang on. I've just had a sudden moment of self-doubt. Oh, that's embarrassing. Look at my other screen. Is that one? And it's.
I thought you were going to ask what the Russian one was.
Right. No.
Tony
Black says the Star Spangled Banner is the first one. Tony Black's the winner.
Yeah. Is that the question you've got? Is that the answer? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Star Spangled Banner. Well done, Tony Black.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah. Send your emails to ted@eModels.co.uk. You know the answer. You know the address by now.
Yes. Any complaints? Please send those to helbin35@geocities.com. Yeah. Do you know it's actually weird when you go online, you occasionally come across an old GeoCities website that's somehow still around. You're like, wow, that was cutting edge once.
Yeah. Right. Chris asks me why I can't see on my screen. He asks why my logo says I'm holding a set of knitting needles and a ball of wool.
I suppose when it's small, it's like some kind of like knitting needles and stuff, doesn't it?
Right. Well, it's turned 11 o'clock. It's past our bedtimes.
No, like me, Riley.
Yes.
We better do the giveaway, then, don't we? The giveaway.
Oh, we haven't either. See, I forget.
Yeah, you don't have to remind.
We're going to have to send Ted another sign that says Monday and giveaway.
Yeah.
You can just cross that off every week when it's done.
It's always the giveaway that Ted forgets.
It'll be like a bus destination banner, won't it? It'll just scroll down.
I'm sure there's been a lot of times when we finish the stream, we all turn our computers off and Ted's there going, with one tab open going, oh.
Adrian David's got a good idea. He said in the giveaway next week, can it be pizza?
Yeah, we'll send you a pizza.
If you get the question right, I'll send myself a pizza. I eat it with my face.
Right, I've got to go into this screen sharing.
Got to tell you, by the way, this manly beard's great, but suddenly soup and pizza become challenges. And pasta. Spaghetti. Gee, nightmare.
You should use a straw. I'd like to see you eat pizza through a straw. That'd be fun.
Right, should we go for a noise this week or should we go for a comment?
I don't know. I've forgotten what the giveaway is. So we'll have to...
Right, yeah.
Let's wing it professionally.
Yeah, I'll show you what the giveaway is, then we'll decide.
Are you locked on YouTube?
Yeah, decide on what we decided earlier when we were talking about it professionally.
I don't know. I've forgotten that. I've blinked since then.
Yeah. Right. Right.
Make it Ted's gin in the giveaway, says James Chapman.
Yeah.
No, because you'll never separate the gin from Ted's. You'll only ever separate it from his cold dead hand.
Lord Barkley III says try a cream cake with a beard.
It's empty. It's empty.
Yes.
It'll be full next week. Yeah, I have a quick sip. When I'm not on screen, I'm screen sharing. You can't see me.
What you don't know is Ted has his own like Bill of Rights, and the Second Amendment on that is about gin. The right to bear gin.
Right, I've got a screen share.
Is it locked on you, Tedward?
It's locked on me. It's screen share. I can't see the screen share button. Hang on. Oh, come on, move over. Because I shrunk my screen, I can't see the screen share.
Pressing the buttons, but not that button.
It's not working.
But you're not pressing the right button then.
Yeah, I am pressing the right button.
Press the other right button.
Press it again.
There we go. There, I'll share the screen.
That looks better. Oh, dear. Yeah.
Infinite regression.
Goes all the way back. And the giveaway this week is this. Well, it's not that.
It's
not
the menu.
It's not
It's the
that.
menu. It all falls apart about this time, doesn't it? It gets to 11 o'clock and it all goes downhill.
I know, it's because you're sobering up. That's what it is.
It was downhill quite a while ago.
It's hard to go downhill when you start at the bottom, but never mind.
Yeah, right. This is something a little bit different. This is the Light Seal support craft, a little bit like the PBRs, the Patrol Boats River, or the Pibbers. This is
Is that a real thing? Pibber. I like that.
Pibber, yeah, Patrol Boat River, as the Americans used to call them in the Vietnam War.
If that was if it was a British thing, would it be patrol boat, river, for the use of?
Yeah,
It was British Army.
yeah, light, yeah, light or
for the use of.
river light for the use of.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think this could be from the Vietnam War. If it's not, it's certainly a same type of pibber anyway. And it's unusual. I don't think we've given a boat kit away before.
No, I don't think we have.
Yeah. So yeah, let's start.
I like that word now, pibber.
Pibber. Yeah.
I think Robert Blaylock's decided what the phrase we've got to say is. It's got to be Boaty McBoatface.
Yeah,
That'll do. That'll do. Yeah. Yeah, you could give it a name. Boaty McBoatface, and then a name.
Pibby McPibface, or whatever you want to call it.
Or edit. Yeah, give this boat a name.
Yeah, the silliest name you can think of.
The silliest name. Yeah, the silliest name you can think
Not
of.
that will affect the winner because the winner
doesn't give you any difference.
Yeah. What that won't be the winning. It will be the person who comments will be the winner, not necessarily the phrase that they give. But it will cause some amusement as we read through them.
Yeah, if they are really good, we should just read through all the comments. Today we're going to read through all the comments and then give you some stuff.
Yeah, so that's it. At the end of this program, when we've all gone to bed, this will upload to YouTube. You need to go over to YouTube and comment below. That gives everybody else a chance that's not in the chat to have a go at winning a prize. If they're watching this on other devices and they can't get on to chat with us, it gives you all a chance.
Yeah, so, it should be up and rendered usually about 5 or 10 minutes after the stream
doesn't
stops.
take long with these. It's not like uploading a video where it takes about 3 hours, or we have to do it overnight.
And then it goes up in 380p because
it's not. It's at 360p. Why is it doing
I did
that?
contact YouTube for you and I said my colleague uploaded a video in 1080p and it came out in 380. And they said, "Was it Ted?" I said, "Yes." He went, "Yeah, it's not our end."
Yeah. I'm not. I'm never going to upload to YouTube again. That's the last time I work with them.
No. That's not. I'm not having 4 people I'm uploading videos for.
Yep. So that's it. That's what you're going to do. And with this luscious kit,
just pop a comment on with a name, silly or otherwise. Silly better. Yeah. A name for this boat.
Yeah, I name this ship.
God bless her and all who sail in her.
Yep. So you have to name this ship and crack a bottle of champagne on its.
My dad used to say that every time somebody would say, "God bless the Queen," he'd go, "God bless her and all who sail in her."
Right, that's it. Stop sharing. That's what you said. Yeah. So if you want to have a look, and if you don't want to hang around and wait for the competition to end, if you want to have a look at it, it's number #3301. So go and have a look at that. Seal support.
3301.
Yes. So a skipper type giveaway this week from me. Where am I at? There I am. Put my hat back on. Just gets hot, this hat.
Do the sides actually flop down? Does it become more amusing?
Does the front flop down as well? Go on.
Is it a button or is it a bit of string?
There is a bit of string at the top.
I didn't think the Russians would go for buttons.
Yeah.
It's going to be even warmer. How long does it till he melts? Go on. You've
just gone from like Russia to like winter New York. apart from the Russian badge.
Yeah, all the mailmen and the police have these.
So you look like a American mailman in the middle of winter in New York. Probably still.
I was thinking more of some sort of sad dog.
Right, I've lost a chat. That's a chat. Right, another show is over for this evening. Thank you everybody for joining in. It's been once again a fun night because we can't get anything right, can we?
We pride ourselves on not getting anything right as professionally as possible.
Unlike some other channels where they all remain professional and upright and no swearing and things like that. Yeah, we just get everything wrong.
Well, we don't do the swearing, but we're enough of idiots that we don't get anything else right.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Serious is boring. Like we said about the inner child earlier on. More fun to be a big kid.
It's locked. It's locked on me. There we go. It's not locked on me anymore. Right. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to join in next week. And if you've got any questions, you can mail them in between now and next week to ted@eModels.co.uk. But you
remember,
all know
if
the
you
address.
get a question out, you get a sticker as well.
Yeah, hopefully you get a sticker.
And we do trust that you give us the right answer. We don't do any research. We're not professional. We just don't care. We just
the effort. We want to put in extra effort.
That would take us away from our things and doing things and have to research it. So,
like panicking when the button doesn't work and things like that.
Right.
An hour before the show, we're just panicking because things aren't working. Everything's on fire.
It gets to about 5 minutes to go, and Fox will say, "Ted, have you done this?"
Oh. Have you put the video up on the back end so it's on the YouTube?
Yeah. Right. Oh, Michael Chapman's going on a cruise. Yeah, take some models with you.
The Love Boat. Soon we'll be taking another run. Is it one of them cruises? It's not, is it?
Love Boat.
Promises.
I'm sure big cruise boats have got Wi-Fi, so you can still watch us while you're there.
Yeah.
Just tune in. Just tune in on Monday night. Tell the captain it's very important that you go and watch. You got to watch us. And
But like a big 90-inch screen on the wall in the
you put it on in the theatre and everybody come and watch.
You'd only get some Michael Ball style singing rip-off that nobody cares about anyway, so just get him off and watch this on the big telly instead.
Anyway, time to go because I'm getting hot in this hat. Hot in this hat, yeah. Well,
Hot hat, Ted.
Yeah, right. I will see you all next week. Right.
Bear's big furry hat, but there you go.
Right, good night, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget, pop along eModels, eModels.co.uk. Have a look at the website. There's loads of stuff on there. And as our man there, Fox, says, if they haven't got it, you probably don't want it anyway. So it's good night from me.
And it's good night from Fox, Ted, Chris, Fox, Ted,
Chris.
Ted, Fox, and Chris.
Good night, everybody.
Good night from Fox, Chris, Ted, and I. Good night, everybody.
Adios, amigos.
Bye, everyone. Bye.